In-depth pregame previews from hosts like Scott Farrell, Donnie Rightside, Ben Stevens, Gabe Moritzi, and many more. To find out where you can watch Sports Grid, go to sportsgrid.com/watch. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, right next to actually very busy San Diego landings in Point Loma, right here on a kind of a dreary Southern California day. We have great guys in the studio from Fish Dope and BD Outdoors. Ali Hussainy and his brother Yusef Hussainy he is the Angler's Realtor. So you stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Sports Grid Radio Network, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 1090 AM.
Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me, book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
Hey, San Diego, we want you to start every day with the charge you need. So your San Diego County Ford dealers are giving you this home charger and covering the cost of standard installation. 24/7 live support, the Ford Power Promise. With a brand new 2024 Mustang Mach-E or a 2024 F-150 Lightning, you can have electric vehicle confidence from day one. Only at your San Diego County Ford dealers, they'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Always enjoy today's show. Fun having the boys in here this morning. Gonna be a good one. And like you said, it is a busy morning down here today. There's some action at the landing.
Shogun's in, and American Anglers in, and Intrepid just pulled in, and wow, lots of things going on.
And good fishing.
Yeah,
it was
good fishing.
Nice to see all that big fish. RPs looks like they're staging up, getting ready to load their passengers. And I know that there's been a lot of very early turn and burns for guys that are on short trips that are trying to get down to that good yellowfin, bluefin fishing. It's hanging on, baby.
Yeah, amazing. And we have a little weather, but there's no wind.
Yeah.
I mean, look outside. It's drizzling a little, but there's no wind at all. We like that. Yeah. We like no wind, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's the devil.
No wind. Yeah,
for real.
It is the devil. Yeah,
just enough to put a kite in the air. No more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Good morning, Ali and Yusef.
What's up,
How are
boys?
you? Good morning.
Great. The brothers Hussainy. So anyway, so of course, Ali, you've been doing a lot with BD Outdoors, fishdope.com, the TV show, and now Seakeeper, right?
Yep. We've been very, very busy with Blue Sea Stabilizer, our new venture, selling Seakeepers, and that Seakeeper ride system, man. Everybody wants it. We've been doing a lot of those.
That's
so
cool.
Staying really busy with that, and flying out in a couple of days to go shoot some more local knowledge and just doing my thing.
Wait a minute, it's Thanksgiving next week. You shooting on Thanksgiving?
I think we leave Saturday, right after
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Where are you going?
We're going to Guatemala, to Casa Vieja, so I'm not too mad about
Casa Vieja. In fact, yeah, somebody called me yesterday about Guatemala. He goes, hey, you know what anything about Guatemala? I go, watch Local Knowledge.
Yeah,
and check out this show that he does down there.
Their program's so good.
It's good.
It's just from start to finish. The minute you get there, there's a guy with your name on a sign. You jump in the van. They got some cold beers and take you right to the lodge. And the thing that I like about it the most is everything's taken care of. So, we're used to Mexico, like teeps and cabs and, greasing the bellman and doing this and doing that. People selling you crap on the beach. There's just none of that down there. Casa Vieja is first rate. You can show up with a couple of pairs of shirts and a couple of board shorts.
That's so
and
rad.
That's all you need. They wash their laundry every day. The food's insane. The boats are insane. And obviously the fishing is, it really is the
Sailfish.
fish capital of the world. Lots and lots of sailfish. You're going to get interrupted by 1 or 2 blue marlin a day. Lots of mahis. And then a lot of times with our groups that we've gone down there with, you get 3 days to fish. Well, after a couple of days of doing sail, like I tell them the first day, do conventional with ballyhoo, just get the feel for it. The second day, fly fish. It's awesome. It's not
Catching a sail on a fly.
a sail on a fly on that light gear where they're eating right off the back of the boat. It's
That's
just
cool.
absolutely insane. And then the third day, a lot of times guys will want to go look for tuna. And usually you'll get at least a couple. And on a good day, you might get 12. And they're anywhere from 20 to 250 pounds.
Wow.
How cool is that?
It's
Wow.
a lot of options, man. It's just very different from what we're used to here in Southern California.
How do you get there?
San Diego to Texas, either Dallas or Houston on Delta or not Delta. I'm sorry, on American or United, and then go down to Guatemala City from there.
Oh, right. And then how far is it from Guatemala City?
About an hour and a half in the van.
Oh, that's like
That's
They
cool.
pick you up in a
Has
van.
your brother taken you there yet?
Not yet. I wanted
No?
to go this year. That I'm recovered still from the back thing. I
Oh,
can't fly that
back
far.
surgery.
Right.
Yeah, that's a long flight.
Yeah, it's a great trip. Great trip.
Yeah, sounds really fun. What's going on in the real estate world?
Not too much, man. It's still moving along. It's a little bit dragging these days. It's I wouldn't say it's slow, but it's definitely slower than it has been in the
Slower.
past 6 months.
Yeah.
Normally around the holidays like this, it slows down.
I can
But-
see that.
It slowed down a couple weeks early this year for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But it's real estate, like literally real estate goes with how sunny it is outside in San Diego.
Right.
Because people, that's when they want to look at houses, and as soon
Well,
as
I
we
would
get
think
a
that-
few sunny weekends, it seems like it picks up.
And I'm sure there's got to be a lot of people just kind of waiting to see what happens. New political, new this, new that. Like there's got to be a lot of people just sitting on their heels just a little bit waiting to see.
Totally. And one thing like the media is not talking about, our interest rate did drop.
Right.
I mean, they're in the high fives now if
Wow.
you're in an FHA loan. So, and that's just for anybody. That's not like you're buying that down. It's still a great time right now to buy, especially while it's slow, because you can negotiate.
Right.
I just sold my sister a house last month, and
Whoa.
I negotiated the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But I just listed her other house, her old house now, and we're doing a price reductions.
Right.
So it's
It's
one way or
slow.
the other. You win and you lose on either side.
Exactly. Well, if you're selling, you're usually up 300-400 grand. If you've been
Right.
there for 10 years, so
Sure.
it doesn't. He's not. They don't care really. For
Yeah.
the most part.
Maybe you
They're
lose a
gonna
teeny
make-
bit off the top, but you gain so much when you bought your other place, it way outweighs it.
Totally. And
Yeah.
as soon as the market comes back, that new one's gonna gain 100 grand, like
Totally.
nothing.
Yeah.
So it's it's just
Hard to miss
Southern
on real estate,
California
right? Yeah,
real
right.
estate. As long as you get in, you're gonna make money.
Yeah.
At some point within 10 years.
Yeah.
So
That's it. You got to be in the long play, right?
exactly. And nobody has 100 grand sitting in their bank account. The good thing about real estate is once you buy it, it's there. You
Yeah.
ever have something major come up, and
Right.
that's your piggy bank
Right.
for the most part. And it doesn't matter if you screw your credit up because you can still sell the home.
Right.
So it's like they used to say about engagement rings. How engagement rings are supposed to be 2 months worth of pay, I think it is, something like that. That's so if things go south, you can sell the wife's ring and you guys are gonna survive.
Let's see how
It's the
that
same
goes
kind
over,
of deal
right?
with a house.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The three of us would like to make sure that was said by one person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The views are not.
So OllieFishDope.com still going strong.
Yeah, we had another great season. Fishing wise was kind of weird. It was like started a month
Weird.
late, and then we just went out one day and they were gone. It felt like like they
real.
just went away.
Yeah, ask your brother. He's been doing the reports every week. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wait, now what do I talk about, right?
It's getting thin, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I hope this isn't signs of things to come because like every year, in January, February, I kind of get anxious that they're not going to come back. But I think our fish ran off to San Francisco there at the end of the season. You know,
Yeah.
they disappeared here, and about 10, 12 days later, I see all those pictures under the Golden Gate Bridge, which are mind-blowing. I mean, that's something you wouldn't expect to see in your whole lifetime, right? And yeah, it was just really weird the way it ended, and sword fishing was really red hot for all those giant fish, and then it slowed down. So
It slowed. It like collapsed.
yeah, I did 3 trips in a row. And we didn't get a bite, and so I don't even know if I'm still in the game anymore. You know?
Yeah.
And what's wild with that bluefin is it like you said, it felt like overnight it was gone. But you look at what's going on right now, like in our long range fleet, like way down below, those guys are crushing it again, and big
Absolutely
ones, and
crushing it.
I've
having
been watching,
daytime-
Fish
yeah.
nighttime
Day-
and daytime.
yeah,
right?
daytime drifts for 100 to 200 pounders, and nighttime hits on. I mean, it's just like it was, but hundreds of miles below, and it's really good.
It was like hundreds of miles above, and then
Yeah,
hundreds
exactly.
of miles
Yeah,
below.
for
It was-
real.
I mean, we got our licks in, but man, I swear we didn't start catching them till July, and they were gone. You know, by mid-September,
And it
just
was
gone.
It was far this year. I mean,
Oh
you,
yeah,
you know, you had to have the right boat and time and window to go do it, because it was far. I mean, it was not at the 43.
Yep.
It was not at Desperation. It was not up the backside of the island. It was way up above beyond that. Like it's a long way.
It's a long
100%. And it was weird too. I mean, there was that day we were catching like 2 miles off Palo Verde.
Right.
They swung in there on the inside a couple of times. Like, what the hell? That hasn't happened yet. So I don't know. Hopefully it's just an odd year and they're back again next year and we get back to business. But I've got anxiety every year when those things go
Yeah.
away. Is this it? I don't know. Is it going to last forever or is this our last year?
With
Yeah.
that said, though, we still have had that anxiety every single year,
100%.
and it's
About
been
something.
yeah,
100%.
always,
Yeah,
always,
no-
always, always.
No doubt. You just don't know what the
I
other
still
side's doing.
remember our like 6-year lull. You guys remember that? How it was just bad.
That was like in
Fishing
was that
in
like
general.
in
like
the,
like 08 to 12.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was terrible.
It
I
was
remember running
just-
120 miles to catch a 20-pound tuna.
Yeah. So what we have now is insane compared to those
Right.
days, you know. And if I don't know, I'm very thankful for the little bit that we got. I only fished twice this year in my new boat, and
Bad
that's-
back?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
couldn't go out and beat myself up,
Ah.
60 miles in a little sea fox. So.
yeah.
But with the tuna fishing being a long ways away, when you were there was really good hits to be had. And how freaking rad were the Coronado Islands this year?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's fun.
come on, you
Yeah,
kidding
that's
me?
Totally
that's the
crazy.
fish I caught this year.
Yeah.
The only times I went, I went out twice, and both times were to the islands and caught bluefin, caught a bunch of yellowtail, and I even caught a yellowfin right next to the Whistler buoy. Right off
No
the point
way.
here.
Cool.
Really? Next
Yep.
to the Whistler this year?
Just outside of the Whistler buoy. Yeah.
Boy, he was lost, huh?
No, there was a whole school, man. I was
School
trolling
right
through
there,
them.
huh?
My son was throwing up, or I would have kept fishing them.
yeah.
We were on our way in. That he wanted to leave early. We caught a bunch of yellowtail, and I saw the dolphins doing the right thing just outside of the Whistler buoy. So I started trolling them, and sure, 10 minutes later we had one on.
Catching a yellowtail at the Coronado Islands was not at all difficult this year, but bluefin fishing, fish dope was such a key for that bluefin
Yeah.
fishing. It was all about chlorophyll, and it was all about where that little pockets of water were below the island, and like it made a huge, like there was some really good bluefin fishing to be had
Yeah.
down there this year.
I was gonna say the fishing that we did get was easy.
Yeah.
It was a lot of foam, man, and I mean anybody can find them when they're up foam, and we did not have a lot of breeze or any of that stuff. Like while they were there, it was tough to get a bite because they were foaming
Right.
so hard on the flyer. They were just so keyed in on that little bait. There's plenty of video of me cussing, bouncing it off their backs, and what the hell, eat it, you SOB, and all
Yeah.
that good stuff. But
But the thing is, it was a long way from here.
it was,
though, right?
hey, again, I don't
Yeah.
like burning the fuel, but
Yeah.
I'm not complaining because there just wasn't that many boats on
Yeah,
it.
we didn't have that local stuff
No,
here that we had
no.
last year, the year before.
No spread or
long runs, right?
none of that Mad Mac fish to speak
Right,
of at
yeah.
all. Like just
Everybody loaded up on Mad Max. Ricky scored a lot of sales on the Mad Max, and now they're sitting on the shelf, right?
Try to give away a mad.
yeah.
Well, everybody realized
the-
everything else that looks like it works just as well for the most
It
part.
was the hottest lure on earth,
Ever.
and then next thing you know, one season later, they're 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Crazy.
People were paying like hundreds of dollars on eBay on them, right?
Yep.
They were
Shout out to Billy K.
Craziness. So fish dope. How do they do it? How do they find all that information.
You tell me,
Dude,
buddy.
it's like
I don't have
every
anything
day.
to do with
I
it.
mean,
Yeah, Danny's just like a wizard.
It's just they're talking to everybody,
Yeah.
you know, and that like.
And why? How does he get people to give it up? Right?
It's like a gossip group.
Yeah.
I swear, Danny and Jason are like straight up. It's fish gossip,
Yeah.
and they love it.
What's-
Danny eats it up, so I think that makes it very easy for them to do that job well.
Yes.
It's so impressive to me to like hear something that'll like whatever it'll come through the radio at the landing or like like literally like a captain of a sport boat will mention something to us in the morning and just like, oh man, that's good to know. And then because you're going the next day and you've got that in your back pocket, like, okay, well we got this. And then you obviously check fish dope every time before we go fishing just to get a game plan. And like somehow freaking Danny's already got that. And it's already up there. Like you're sitting on this killer little jewel of info. Like, oh man, we're gonna crush them. Nobody knows that the fish made this move. And like sure enough, you go on there that night, Danny's like, oh yeah, great fishing on this. Like they get it every time. It's awesome.
They're staying after it for sure.
Yeah.
And fish move. That's probably the two biggest frustrations is June. Everybody's complaining that the maps don't work. Well, look out our window right now, right? It's like if there's clouds, it doesn't. We've got best guess with the high def, through cloud technology, but we can't do that every day. And then people will gripe that, well, I went right where you said yesterday and the fish weren't there. Well, that's why the maps are there. The fish are usually relating to some kind of a water, and the water's going to move, and the fish have fins. But if you learn to follow that water, and that's what I always encourage people to do. Like back in the albacore days, we didn't have fish dope. We had to look at the water and figure out where those fish were at.
They were.
Based on best info, and some of that skill set I think has been lost because we've made it too easy. But if you want to step your game up, man, really watch those fish and understand how they relate to the water that they're in. Because at the end of the day, that's all it is. They're just following a highway that has food on it, and they'll hang out where there's a lot of food and the water's right. You know?
Yusef made an important point. Jason, we got to give credit where credit's due. Jason, it's not all Danny.
No.
Jason puts a lot of information out there.
He's the hub, man. He's the one that's talking to a lot of people, and everybody loves Jason.
Yeah, no, Jason's great. How is Jason doing, by the way?
He's not dead, so that's good.
Ups and downs.
Is that kind of like a Monty Python movie? He's not quite dead yet.
No, so that's pretty much my morning text to him. You dead yet?
Nice,
still,
nice,
still
Ollie.
here.
You're such
Well,
a nice partner.
It's a very emotional relationship that we have. No, he's doing good, man. I mean, kidney's in.
Got his kidney. Yeah.
Kidney's working, which is very important.
Great.
He's had a couple complications. From the surgery, they nicked a nerve, and he's got a couple other things. But again, not dead. Kidney's working. That's like, what else could you really ask for? Yep. Dude's been through a lot, man.
Yep.
I don't know how he's done it. He's tougher than tougher than I ever would have given him credit for. I mean, he just goes in for these things that would like scare the daylights out of you or me, and he just rolls with the punches.
A lot of people would have given up long ago.
100%.
Man.
I think he had 3 procedures last week. No joke.
Wow.
And one of them was very unpleasant.
Well, get well.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. We're all pulling for you for sure. And as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today. A lot to talk about: real estate, talk about fishing, talk about sea keepers, fish dope, Guatemala. What else do you want to talk about?
These guys wear many hats. So we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And if you want to join us this morning, man, we would love to hear from you. Best way to reach us this morning is just to give us a call and let's talk hookup. It's 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090. Still a couple of phone lines open. Been a good start to the morning, but if you want to get through, there's an open line right now, 213-432-1090. Or, as we already know, text the show, man. Already a ton of great texts have poured through this morning. And if you want to send in your text to the boys, it's easy to do. It's only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a free download. It's the easiest way to keep in touch with Let's Talk Hookup. You can hear all the past archive shows through the app. You can listen on demand when you want on your drive home. And it's the only way that you can text in your questions this morning. When you do, make sure you include your contact info with your text. Just a name and a phone number is all we need, because one lucky caller or texter decided by our coin flip at the end of the show is going to win a $300 gift certificate to CostaSunglasses.com. What a rad prize. Basically, you get $300 to decide whatever you want to do with. You could buy a couple of inexpensive pairs of glasses. You could buy one killer one. You can buy a great average pair of Costas and spend the rest of the money on all their killer swag. You got performance shirts and coolers and all that great stuff. But whatever you want, $300 in Costa is coming your way. I always say the same thing. Like, I kind of bounce back and forth, but for the most part, I like that Spiro XL gray silver mirror.
Yeah.
That's me. That's my day. That's
Of
my
course,
day.
you're sporting Rinconcito on your head. That's your driving glasses.
No,
is that
these
Rinconcito?
Spiros. Yep,
Those
same.
are Spiros.
That's
Okay.
it, Spiro
What are you
XL.
sporting there,
I wear the
Ali?
same ones.
I've been
You wear
wearing
the same one?
the Taxmans since they
Taxman.
came
I
out.
like
Yeah, I
those.
really like those. Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice. Yeah, and what lens is that? The bronze?
These are I think these are the bronze. Those are usually my on the water. I like the bronze colors on the water, then like kind of the gray for driving.
Yeah.
But I grabbed those in the dark this morning.
There you go. Yeah, just walking around the dark.
The other one on a morning like this, which it's like a cool tool to have. It can't be your everyday, and it can't be your only glasses. It's your second pair, but it's that sunrise silver mirror.
Yeah.
It's nice because it's got that silver mirror coating on the fact so you don't look like a weirdo wearing bright yellow glasses. They look normal from the outside looking in, but you're looking through a very bright yellow lens. It lights everything up. You'll see really good in a low light condition.
Almost
I like those
shooting
things
glasses,
a lot.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good.
But you don't have to walk around looking like you're wearing shooting glasses.
Right.
That's what I like about them so much. Yeah, it's a killer pair. But anyways, you got $300 coming your way if you're the lucky caller or texter at the end of today's show. And when we come back, we're going to be taking those phone calls, having lots of fun with the boys. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Hi, this is Christy Wheeler with Dawson & Associates Insurance, your full-service agency specializing in boat insurance, including charter, commercial, and personal use boats, business insurance, and travel insurance. We work hard to get you the most coverage for the best prices and guarantee the lowest rates available on all the travel plans we offer. So give us a call today at Dawson & Associates Insurance at 619-460-5615 for a free quote today.
Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hardworking crew will make sure your fishing experience is one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day open party trips on the spacious and comfortable Liberty. Since we introduced the full-day trips at Fisherman's Landing, the 85-foot Liberty has become a favorite among full-day operations with bunks for your comfort, huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big modern galley and 2 interior heads with showers. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can easily be booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning.
Yes, it does. Mercury builds character. You gotta eat a lot of Mercury. Yeah, for sure. Ali and Yusef are here. Yusef, talking real estate here real quick again. What do you foresee the market coming up with this new administration? Are things going to change? Are things going to get better? What's your eyes?
It should get better. We should have the Fed at some point in the next year here, give us a little bit of a drop and get things moving with the economy again. And
is that what
people buying?
Interest rates going down?
Yeah,
stimulate the economy.
Yeah,
make people buy.
They already went down with the new president coming in. Right. It's just not in the news very much,
right.
But rates have come down, and they're going to keep softening, as we get closer to putting the president in office. And hopefully we'll get this market moving again and get some houses sold.
How do you feel like the inventory is going to be when things kind of come back around? I know that was the when you were in here in the past, when the rates were so low, you were always saying that's the trouble. There's just not much there wasn't a lot of inventory to be had, but feels like it's been a little slow for a while. You think there's going to be there's going to be some houses to be gobbled up when things kick around?
I think they'll vaporize in 2 weeks. Legitimately, there's not enough inventory to fulfill what we really need in a normal market.
Okay.
So it's just going to keep being ups and downs, and anytime we have a slow stall like this, people should be out. The smart thing would be
this should be the time
and negotiating.
Sure.
And negotiate, and that's what you do, right? That's
exactly
what you do.
I do that well, and I
like you just
go to
for your
battle
sister,
for my
you said.
clients. Totally. I have another friend. I sold him a house in Lakeside, and he goes to move in, and the floor's floating. And the old people that sold it to him, or the sellers, didn't want to take care of it and all this. And I literally had 40, 50 hours last week getting this thing straightened out for him, and making sure everything he can move into his new house,
right.
And it's a weird market. Normally people would be really scared about being sued, but these guys are just telling him to pound sand.
Wow. Wild, right?
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's just odd right now. It's not.
And where a lot of other realtors would walk away and go, "That's your problem."
100%.
You're in there.
Yeah.
Got my check, buddy. Good luck.
Yeah, totally. And that's what's bad about this industry is people don't have a lot of follow through, and they're very one-sided. Get a deal done and they're off.
But you're going to have that customer for life, and you're going to have every one of his friends and family for life because of what you did for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's
100%.
The fight is so worth, you got 50 hours into it, but you're going to have that business for a lifetime because of those 50 hours.
And it's just doing the right thing for people.
Totally.
I don't know if you're trusting me to make the biggest decision of your life.
Totally.
With you, I really appreciate that. And I'm going to do anything I can to make sure everything works out well.
That's rad.
For sure. So, Seakeeper, you guys are now Seakeeper dealer and service, sales and service, right?
Yeah, Blue Sea Stabilizer. So we're doing
good move.
sales, service, everything. The guys over at Seakeeper, Jason's a good friend of mine, and they were really happy with what we did with the CDEC business and expanding it up the coast. We have offices all the way up to Canada now selling CDEC. And so kind of, use the same model and see where it goes. Obviously, it's a product that I believe in. I know you believe in. And
right.
Man, I say it all the time.
Wouldn't ride without it.
I don't want to own another boat that does not have one. It just makes boating so much more fun. Your body's not so beat up, but there's a million benefits to it.
Yeah,
so
sure.
It's just something just like CDEC. I love CDEC. I was one of the first guys to have it out here, real passionate about the product. So it was an easy fit.
And your partner, Chris, is a master at figuring stuff out. I know I was having some issues with my new Seakeeper 1 and the Steiger. He came down, figured it all out. Works fine now.
Couldn't be a better guy for the job.
Yeah.
He knows how to work on boats better than I do, and I want to keep it that way, by the way.
Yeah.
But super techie guy. He went and got all of his training, all of his certification. He'd had several boats and run several boats before. And Chris is a fisherman. Chris has driven charter boats. He's done all that stuff. I think and obviously I love fishing. It's a real easy transition for us to help guys out and either upgrade a boat or if you're buying a new boat and you got questions about one, just ask. We don't care if we're not selling it to you. We'll service it. We'll help you out later on. We'll do whatever. And if you're just curious, give us a buzz. We'd be happy to talk to you about it.
And you've got the background of the fabrication side of things, and just knowing where you can shoehorn one in or not, or split it up, and we're going to put two small ones in here because that's going to be a more effective use of the space, or whatever scenario pops up. Like, you guys have the background of being around a lot of boats that have had them and where it's been effective and maximizing space. And hey, if we just move if we move this battery bank over to this side, now we have room for this thing here, and now it's no longer in our way, but the boat's comfortable.
Yeah, one of the cool things about Seakeeper is they do everything like a car OEM. Almost like they have a massive database, right? So first thing we do is you call up and you say, hey, I've got a 44 Pacifica. Okay, we can tap into this database of other people that have installed them. And then you kind of get to share all that knowledge of,
That's awesome.
How it was in, where it went, how you wired it, did all that stuff. It really makes things a lot easier. And if not, we go out, put hands on it, and take a measuring tape and try to figure out how we can get one in, some of these older boats. But all the newer boats generally have got a space for it. And that's a lot of what we're doing too is, a guy might buy a brand new whaler or something and have it pre-rigged. And then we pop the unit in for them. They save a little bit of money. And now they've got a relationship with a dealer out here that'll stand behind it.
That's it. It's key.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Sure. Well, hey, phones are packing up. And if you want to get through, have a chance to win a $300 coaster certificate. And we're adding in one of the new 2025 Bill Varney calendars, too. They're now available at your local tackle shop and landing. The Bill Varney 2025 calendar is super good. Are your pictures in there too this year?
I don't know if I made
got
the
so
cut
sick
this
of looking
year.
at your pictures.
Oh, Pete, you can't get enough of looking at us. I just got good photographers. The subject matter is not that great.
He's over here saying that like I'd come into his office and there was Ali photos up there, even if it's the wrong month.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, like I came in multiple times in June, but he had the August pinned up there.
He's
Like,
got those laminated ones under his pillow.
Yeah,
and you flip down the visors in his car.
That's the truth.
I don't want to look at me, Pete. I'm sorry.
It's hard to pin him to the ceiling of your bedroom.
But anyway, the Bill Varney calendar, with or without Ali this year, is now available at your local shop, tackle shops. I know Fisherman's Landing, Dana Landing, and a lot of other shops have them. And you can go to fishthesurf.com and you can buy one right from Bill.
my entire family like wouldn't know how to check the tides without that thing. You know,
it's the best time.
The 1 year there was the gap before Bill took it back over and it just wasn't produced. Like every uncle and cousin that I had at Christmas time, like, dude, where's my calendar? Like you've gotten this for us every year for the past 5 years. Like, how am I going to tell the tides? Like that's it.
It is nice though, because you get the moon phase and the tide right there on your wall, like without having to get into your phone or anything like that.
Right.
I've had one hanging
looking
over my
right at
desk
it
for a million years.
Yeah, for sure. Sitting right next to my computer there.
It's the one.
Staring at it every day for sure. You want to get through, so we're going to give away a calendar and that $300 gift card. And I have a great text here. It's the age-old question, right, that John in Huntington Beach wants to ask. Good morning, Ollie, Yusef, and Pete and Rick. Who has better fishing, California or Florida, San Diego or Key West? What's the? I mean,
this isn't going to be popular.
No, absolutely
It's
not.
the Keys.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's better fishing.
Well, they just have more variety, right?
More variety. Look, all that aside, throw the variety. You can catch a big fish 12 months out of the year.
100%.
Any day of the year, Rush can go put you on a 60-pound amberjack, a big kingfish, any of that stuff. They take the seasonality out. Now, inversely, and just as important, their weather sucks.
It sucks.
Our weather
Wind blows all the time.
Dude, I mean, when you're from Southern California, somebody says you're not going to fish for 2 weeks because of the weather, you'd be looking at me like I had 6 heads.
Yeah,
for real.
Right. So it's that they're both equally important. If you've got great fishing and you can't get to them, Venice, Louisiana, the best fishing on the planet, the worst weather I've ever experienced.
Really?
Over a series of years and years. It's just like, which one would I take? Tuna all day, every day. Sorry, I got ducks to kill in the winter, and bow hunting and all that stuff. So I like our fishery better personally because I do like that big fish. I like the bite. I like all that. But if you're talking pure fishing, weather not being a factor, you can't beat South Florida. It's just that good.
But when you can access the fishing here,
that's what I mean.
It's right here.
I
mean, they don't have 300-pound bluefin.
They do not. And you talk about like being at close other spots to fish. We jump down to Baja, they go to the Bahamas. It's the exact same thing. The Bahamas is just like their Baja. You can go run in any direction, do whatever the hell you want. There's nobody around. Cool. You want to snorkel in the morning, barbecue in the afternoon, catch some fish in between, offshore, inshore. Like Bahamas has it, and it's awesome.
That sounds cool.
It is crazy to me how few fishermen from our coast have just gone to experience that. Man, give Rush a call. Go see something different. Cool. Like they've got the sailfish. Key West. Yeah. Like
what's the best time of the year?
Right now, the winter time from like December all the way through March.
Really? I wouldn't have thought that.
It's the total opposite. So like you could do Brandon Nelson's doing. You charter out here all summer and then you jump over there and charter out there all winter. You're kind of like chasing the endless summer. Yeah. Their weather in October gets really nice in terms of the heat and humidity. It's just like our place in the spring right now. I love it. I'm going in a few weeks and I'm already looking forward to it.
But the wind blows.
But the wind, man, I can't tell you how many times like we've either had to just go suck it up and get beat half to death and soaked, or you just can't. You have to cancel because of that dang wind. But they say their weather changed in 15. Like when we started having the El Niños, they started getting way more wind. And Rush has been doing it for a long time, and I know the guys in the Gulf say the same thing. So we know the weather's changing, right? I don't think anybody's going to argue that. And for them, it was wind. For us, it was great fishing. So I'll take the West Coast.
Remember, they had that crazy freeze where Byron's ponds froze up and all that.
That's happened a few times.
Yeah. And I guess that wasn't a normal thing
Miami
prior
froze
to that.
like twice since like 13, 14, like just weird weather stuff that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the iguanas were frozen.
That was this week. This week they got down into the 40s.
Iguanas?
Yeah, and those iguanas fall right out of the trees.
It's so wild.
It's so crazy.
One of the things that you talked about, and I got to experience, and you were dead right, that was so cool about Louisiana is the ability to catch the ability to catch like a 30-pound fish that rips drag off your reel in what would be the same environment as going to catch a spotted bay bass.
100%.
Like you could tootle off the dock in a little skiff and cast a spinning rod and reel, but be attached to a 30-pound something that rips line off your reel.
There's just not a lot of places in the world
Yeah.
where you can do that. And the thing with Louisiana is, I mean, some of the best yellowfin tuna fishing anywhere when you can get to it and it's biting. They've unlocked a phenomenal sword fishery, maybe the best sword fishery in the country, just by the size and the amount of fish that they're catching. The blue marlin fish. I mean, the offshore fishing there is no joke, man. We've done 12, 15 wahoo mornings in Louisiana. And the snappers and the groupers. And I think Louisiana has the best fishing in North or South America when you can get to it. It's better than Panama. It's better than Mexico.
Really?
When it's firing, there is nothing like it. Really nothing like it. So, and then you can go inshore and in your slip catch a bass. You can catch a freshwater bass and a redfish or a sea trout from your slip.
Wow. Yosef, does your brother ever take you on these fancy trips?
I haven't been. He's invited me. I've been so busy with work the past few years trying to build my
Working
business
kids.
that I haven't been able to. But like I wanted to go to Casa Vieja this year. My back just isn't up for it. So I'll probably end up going next year. And I'm going to Alaska with him in June.
Nice.
We've got some stuff planned. It's all me, though. He definitely invites me on these things.
There you go. All
Somebody
right.
had to have a real job.
That's cool. Let's jump into the phones, Rick.
Got it. Why don't we start it off this morning with Robert? He's calling us from Canyon Country. Good morning, Robert. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Morning, guys. Awesome show as usual. How small the Seakeeper? I have a 21-foot aluminum. How small of boats do those Seakeepers? What is that set up for?
The Seakeeper 1 is really small. Really, really small. I mean, I don't know the dimensions off the top of my head, but it's only it's less than 2 foot square.
Less than 500 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, no. So I think it was 3 something.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could, a 21 foot would be about the smallest boat we could put it in, but it's not not impossible at all. You just really need to have a spot for it. And if you go to seakeeper.com or you can go to our website, blueseastabilizer.com, you'll see the dimensions there. And you can just kind of like look around your boat and see where it can go. It doesn't have to be on center, which is a common.
And it doesn't have to be under the deck either. It
does
can be
not
on the deck.
The one is in a weatherproof housing,
Right.
so like a lot of boats will go right under an aluminum leaning post and sit right there on the deck.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of
in
options.
my 25 Steiger, it sits below deck. They did a factory installation.
Is yours in the floor in the cabin?
No, it's right in the fish hold, right behind the seats.
Oh,
so
okay.
kind of in the middle of the boat. But it's still in the waterproof in the cover. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
because it could get wet.
And they are surprisingly weatherproof. Like
Yeah.
mine have always been under my leaning post. You know, it is under a leaning post. It's kind of funky and mildewy and all that. I've had no issues with corrosion or anything like that. They're purpose built, marine made out of aluminum and stainless.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Busy morning this morning at the landings. Captain Frank Lopresti's on the line. Good morning, Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Well, good morning, Pete. Everything's going well, that's for sure. The RP returned this morning from a 4-day trip and had a beautiful catch of bluefin tuna and yellowtail, yellowfin. And then yesterday, Aliar on a 3-day trip on the Polaris Supreme, he stopped the boat about 8 o'clock in the morning, and something went wrong, Pete. He never fired up again until after dark.
Jeez. And what did he catch?
And then after dark, he caught some more.
Oh my!
They had an unusual group on there. Really, a bunch of great guys. Half of them were red rods. He ended up with 85 yellowfin tuna. He said the grade was the best he's seen all year, 50 to 90 pounds. Wow. And he had 26 bluefin up to 198 pounds.
Jeez.
He said it was heavy losses on the 80 pound, but they were biting the 80 pound bluefin on fly line. How about that?
Dude, I want to do that so bad. Are you kidding me?
Frank, wait a minute. How much fishing time did he get on a 3-day to put all those fish on the boat?
Well, you start around anywhere, depending how fast the boat is. You get down there somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning. He left the dock at exactly 6 a.m. He was down there in the general area by 7:30. Found fish by just a little after 8, and you get to fish all that day and a few hours after dark, and then you got to start home, Pete.
Wow,
crazy!
So 2 days of travel, but a full day of fishing and plenty of fish.
Well, enough to make your back sore. That's for damn
Yes,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, no
Like
doubt.
everybody's back. Wow, that sounds
So-
like incredible fishing.
So, Pete, just so the anglers know there, or our listeners know, the Supreme has a 3-day open with a few spots in December, and also a 4-day. So if anybody really wants to catch some more yellowfin and bluefin before Christmas, there are some spots available. Okay.
Wow. Now, what about on the Royal Polaris or the Shogun? Any spots available?
No, we have one spot on a 10-day trip, and the Shogun and the Royal Polaris have some spots open on their 5-day after Christmas. And you know, the last 5 years, that 5-day Christmas trip, very good on bluefin and yellowfin. Okay.
Wow.
Boy, and the stage is sure set for those guys to have another really good one this year. That's been like one of the sneaker trips of the season. There's always been, you know, a spot or two to go on that after Christmas trip. In the last couple of years, they have had unbelievable fishing.
Yep, they sure have.
Well,
all right, you guys. Well, thank you for accepting the report. And
what a great
talk
report.
to you later.
What a great
Thanks,
report, Frank. And yeah, we've been showing the camera and talking about the busy morning here this morning. And it is almost December, and we're catching tuna. Thanks a lot for that,
Right,
Frank.
yes.
Appreciate that.
Shogun returned this morning from a 10-day trip, and he got in on that bluefin and yellowfin too. He had a beautiful trip also. Everybody's really, really enjoying an unbelievable season, Pete.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, see if they compare that to Florida, huh? If
Yeah,
they could pull
screw
that
you,
off.
Ollie.
Huh? Yeah, Ollie.
Jerk.
That's fair.
None of that in Florida. For sure. Thanks,
Hey,
Frank. Nice to hear from
See
you.
you, Frank.
Appreciate that.
All
very
right,
much.
but you know, I don't think we catch sea trout at the dock though.
No, that's true. Yeah, but we can catch Corbina at the dock.
Yeah, same damn thing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Frank. Hey, if you want to join us
All
this
right.
morning, if you want to join us this morning, give us a call at 213-432-1090.
All right, you have a good text.
I
huh?
thought so. Yeah, it says, "Good morning, guys. Great show. My question's for Ollie. When you're short fishing, do you prefer the tip rod or the buoy rod? Could you give us a reason why? And have you found that one works better than another in terms of putting fish on the boat?" That's from Matt in Apple Valley.
I just prefer having as many baits out as possible, to be honest. I guess tip overall, because you can somewhat affect that bait. One of the things that the booby trap guys taught us many years ago was if you're getting whacked on the tip rod, to take it away from them, you know, wind in 50, 60, 80 feet of line. And then if they come back and start whacking it again, slowly lower the bait. And that looks like a bait that's been stunned or killed. And a lot of times they'll come back and actually eat it instead of just beating it up. But that said, I think last year we got one on the tip. I think the 2 years prior were on the bobber. So one other thing that we're doing too, and you guys may want to try this, is when we're out there drifting for swords, we know that OPA generally like to hang out in the same area, but at different depths. So we take a smaller electric reel and we send another bobber rod out with a bait on it at about 400 to 600 feet, which is where the OPA like to hang, hopefully to actually target
That'd be
and catch
cool.
an OPA at some. Dude, anybody can catch a swordfish. I want an OPA.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's
a
like the
good
one.
idea.
That's like the last check mark for me, you know, for the local stuff. Surface sword, which I know you got yours a few years back, and then I want to get that OPA really, really bad.
That's rad.
So, and then also if you have the ability on your bobber rods, you know, we try to rig up a bait with a circle hook in it instead of a J, and just hope that the fish hooks themselves. Instead of, you know, you're gonna have a higher incidence of getting a good hook set in a fish with that circle hook than you are the J. But on the tip rod, we're using the J because we're trying to set the hook ourselves.
It's such a flip flop of trying to decide, because the tip rod, you see everything that happened. You see every bite. You see everything. The buoy, like, you just do not see it until you either decide it's time to move or you're attached to one, and that's it. And you know, like, that thing could be getting whacked 15 minutes straight. You'll just never know until he has eaten it and gone up to the surface.
Yeah,
and there's something good to be said about that, and something bad. Like, it takes away the ability to tease them, like you were talking about, the ability to like convince a fish to eat it, but it also takes away the ability to screw that up and tease them incorrectly, you know, like
100%.
And how do you say which is better than the other?
100%. And the last couple of bobber fish, we have just let like normally we would try to get tight on them right away. We just wait and just wait.
How
it's
on
impossible.
earth can you do that?
It's impossible. You're watching that buoy get swatted at and all that stuff. Is he there? Is he not there?
Yeah.
I don't know, but Yeah, until that thing really flops over dead slack for a little bit of time, we're not trying to get tight on him, because I feel like you're taking the idiot factor out, which is me.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't want to screw something up. He's down there, he's eating it, let him do his thing.
So what if you get one on the tip rod, and do you go get your buoy rod out?
We usually clear it. Yeah.
So how do you do that without losing the other one?
It has not been a problem yet. At some point you could very easily visualize that being a problem, you know, but typically once we're tight on the up and down rod, that fish, like it seems they don't come to the surface immediately. In my experience, it's been like, you know, within 5 to 20 minutes, then they'll come up to the surface with the weight. And that's when we're just trying to get all of our other junk out of the way.
Yeah.
But that's a great question, because sooner or later it will get us. I mean, there's just no way. And sometimes you don't even know your bit until that fish is already on the surface. I could see you having a cluster of biblical proportions.
Yeah,
I mean, it would be,
totally.
dude, 1,000 feet of line out with a swordfish swinging around, wrapping it.
You got to get it out of there.
Let's just not talk about that.
I can tell you this: we pride ourselves on, like, at the shop, of like swordfish rigging and buoy loops and color spectra. I cannot tell you how many times we have put, you know, a day's worth of work into this beautiful, perfect, color coded, all the right depth, buoy loops and sinker loops and all those things. And then a guy will come back with the reel that's half full and just be like, dude, just don't ask. Please do it again. It happened. 2 rods tangled, 1 stuck to the bottom. Then we hooked a fish, and like, just don't ask. Please redo this. You know, like it happens. Like it every bad scenario that you could imagine can happen when you're talking about 10 pounds of sinker and the ultimate fish, but one's on a buoy and one's not, and you're drifting and you had to move because commercial gear, and you're coming up on the bank. Like, things happen.
You sound like you've done this. Yeah. And that you just made a really good point too, is we have a dedicated rod for the bobber. We have a loop at 900 that's spliced into the line. We have another one at 1,000 and another one at 1,100. To do it again, I don't think you need them every 100 feet. It's probably more like every 150 or 200. But what Rick was saying about, you know, setting up that bobber rod, he's not joking. It takes all damn day. Pay the guys at Fisherman's. Like, don't try. I'm stupid. Like, I like rigging all that stuff. Don't try to do it yourself. And then also, I feel like when you have those dedicated loops and that gear that's rigged right with no knots and all that, it's just one more thing to take out of the equation. Bad rigging.
If you do get that bite.
A failure for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I would not recommend doing it yourself, but I really do like having those dedicated loops in there for all my buoy depths and all that stuff. So give Rick and the boys a call and they'll set you up.
There you go.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming here, including finding out what's biting, a whole lot of fishing, and more. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California sport fishing voice on 1090, the Sports Grid Radio Network, and the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Gamakatsu is not just all about hooks. There's so much more.
Not this commercial, but the next commercial is a live read.
Once you try one, you'll always want more. The new tools are also very special, including the Gamakatsu braid scissors made with ceramic blades, so they'll never rust. Check out the new lineup of shirts and hats, and of course, Gamakatsu fishing pliers and boxes are amazing. Gamakatsu, much more than just the best hooks. Get them at your local tackle shop or at gamakatsu.com.
It's time for the Power Pro 30-second seminar. I like catching big fish, and I like smaller reels too. How do I make sure that I have the capacity to land the big one? I fill my reels with Power Pro Max Quattro. It's 25% thinner than standard Power Pro, so you get more line on that small reel. Power Pro has a complete series of highly effective lines, including the brand new Power Pro Depth Hunter Offshore with different colors every 100 feet. Perfect for flatfall fishing. Want to learn more? Check powerpro.com.
Hey, it's time to talk about great gear from Shimano. And of course, we're talking swordfish. What's the rig, Rick?
A new Beastmaster, man. I mean, it's gone through
Jeez,
multiple.
Those things are amazing.
Beastmaster has gone through multiple unnecessary changes just to accommodate swordfish fishing. Like when the first version came out, it was great, but with more and more sinker and bigger fish out here, they've gone to stronger and stronger motors. That Gigamax motor, it went from a reel that we always called like, oh, this is good enough, to like, oh no, this is a great choice, man. It's fast, it's quiet, it's got a lot of power, it's got a lot of torque, but it still fits in your hand well. And
the old Beastmaster was pretty powerful, but this one's even bigger, right?
And for guys like us that, like, you know, you need to justify spending a few bucks on a reel like that, it also makes a fantastic reel for flying the kite. So you're using it all tuna season long. Then when swordfish season slips over, swap your line configuration around a little bit. Now deep drop for swords. It's an investment and a fantastic reel.
Yeah, the Beastmaster, the new one with the Gigamax motor, now at your local Shimano dealer.
Here's the hot tip on the best fishing LA has to offer. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. They are home to LA's finest open party fleet, including overnight on the Freedom, Catalina Freelance on the Pursuit, half-day trips on the Monte Carlo, and three-quarter-day trips on the Sea Angler. For your own private charter, we have the Outrider and Trueline available. There's always plenty of free parking and a fully stocked tackle store. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. Call 310-832-8304 or on the web at 22ndstreet.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. All kinds of fishing going on, and man, good stuff to talk about. It's been a busy morning already. If you want to join us, best way to do it is on the phones, 213-432-1090.
Yeah, and it's time for the catch report.
You got it, man. Today, our catch report is sponsored in part by a spot that I went just yesterday.
I was there the day before, man.
I needed ice. We had Waylon's first birthday party, and so I stopped for ice on my way. I needed fuel, so I stopped in to get fuel, and then it's like, man, I talk about the ice thing every day. It's no joke. It's 25 cents for a bag of ice, and then it was like $3.99 for 25 pounds. It is
Summit gasoline.
It is the cheapest ice there is, and if you fill it, if you keep your boat on the trailer and you swing by for fuel, if you put 35 gallons of gas in the boat, they give you 100 pounds of ice for free. If you're not needing that fuel, 20-pound, but 25-pound bags are only $3.99.
Yeah.
Your first 5-pound bag of ice is 25 cents.
And the price, did you check the price on the fuel?
Dude, it's crazy.
It's like better than Costco.
It was better than Costco.
Yeah.
I did. We put fuel in the wife's car the following day, and it was 10 cents cheaper than Costco was.
And they have a whole bunch of snacks for 89 cents. You can get breakfast burritos, salads, all kinds of stuff. Stop there on the way to fishing.
Like, I've stopped for fuel because it's just the cheap place to get fuel, and then I've gone about my way, and like I was blown, and I needed ice for the party, and I was tripping. And let me tell you, we sell ice, and it's not 25-pound bags, and it's not $3.99. I can tell you that
much.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's
Yeah,
the deal.
and you can get Kirkland products cheaper than you can buy them at the store that sells them too.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Summit Gasoline, right next to the San Diego Sports Arena. It's the spot.
Yep, free ice for Let's Talk Hookup listeners. Let's find out what's going on and head up to Dana War Sport Fishing. We got the man, Captain Brian Woolley's on the line. What's up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up, Woolley?
Good morning, guys.
What's up, Woolley?
Good morning.
Man, always been traveling all over, doing all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it, buddy.
In the studio today. Yeah. And man, how about Frank's report on Aliar?
Woo, so rad.
Man, when Aliar showed up on the scene with us at Dana Wharf back, I don't remember how long it was, like, you just knew he was going to succeed wherever he ended up. You know what I mean? And it's just been amazing watching these guys just absolutely kill it.
How would you like to be on that 3-day run, huh?
Oh my gosh, just like, and that's total Aliar. Like, go for it. If it bites, we're stoked. If it doesn't, we went down swinging. That's just classic Aliar right there, just going for it.
Totally. You said it best in that, like, when he showed up on scene, everybody knew. And I remember Frank talking about that same thing when he was working with Andrew on the Pacifica, and it was just like, we need to get this guy a boat. Like, this is a guy that needs to be guy that needs to be at the helm, finding fish right away. And it was just like, that was it. And
Frank recognized it.
Yeah, immediately. And was just like, this is a guy.
I'm buying him a boat.
Exactly. And what a move that was.
Yeah, that was a good move.
There were days where he would run the reel funny. He would do the exact same thing. Like, oh, they're shooting within 25 miles. Gone. Like, where's Aliar? I don't know. And then you get a call back like, oh, he's in a full ripper bite, and rent rods, the whole 9 yards. It's like the same deal. It's awesome.
That's so cool.
So awesome.
Well, hey, for us this week, pretty decent condition-wise. Our half-day scene obviously dealt with some cooler water temps. 56, 58 is kind of what it was here along our stretch. So, big majority of the action, again, coming off the bottom for those guys using the heavier sliders, sliding sinkers, dropper loops, and whatnot. So it's been sheephead, whitefish, and bass have been kind of what's been making up the bulk of the catch for the half-day guys. The guys seeing a little bit better success are the ones fishing the shrimp and the clam. Those exotic baits, for whatever reason, just getting bit better than, say, the cut squid. But there's still some catch on the live bait. We've got some anchovy and sardine in our receivers, so that fished well too. But no real big standout catches this week. It's just light line approaches, getting bites, that type of stuff, adapting with the conditions, kind of changed them a little bit. 3/4 day, again, has just all been on the rockfish program. We had a bit of wind a day or two out on the 14 this week, so that made it hard. One day we got out there and the wind just started howling. We ended up having to fish on the anchor out there all day. It was kind of a bummer. But the days where the weather's been nice, it's been very, very good fishing. That 100 to 120 fathom stretch out there, It's required the heavier sinkers, and the guys with the electric reels certainly have the advantage. 16 to 24 ounce sinkers, but gosh, it's been worth it. The quality of the rockfish out there has still been very good. Good mixed bags on those bankies, chilies, bocaccio, all worth it. And then the local cod down here on Pendleton on the days when we have a few more people on the boat and it's just not conducive to those drifts in that deeper water. Same deal, some reds, some groupers, some chilies, a little bit more work, but we're able to fish on the anchor and that kind of stuff. And it's been okay down there as well. So just kind of mixed bag. Again, this is that time of year, man. The conditions are going to dictate what and where we fish. So just come prepared, bring some heavy sinkers, maybe bring your electric reel, and if the day that you can use it, bring it. And if it's not, leave it in the truck or whatever, and just kind of adapt. So we'll be running all next week, except for Thanksgiving will be closed, and we do have a big sale going on. We're dropping tomorrow. It's going to be our gift certificate sale on half day, 3/4 day, whale watch, and all that. Probably our best sale of the year. So
Whoa.
some of that stuff will be up to 50% off. So we'll put up a post on our Instagram. And what'll be cool about it this time is normally it's all online. This time you can actually walk into the office and buy those gift certificates over the counter too. For the
Is that like a Black Monday special?
Yep, it's exactly. So just the week of Thanksgiving, get it and enjoy it. For
Up
the
to
rest of the year.
50% off on gift certificates for half and 3/4 day trips?
Correct.
Holy mackerel.
Yep.
That's
You
a
can buy
great
them
deal.
those little packs or single, whatever, but we'll have all that stuff. Again, we'll put all that info up and you guys can check that out. Or you can always call the office and then ask, that they'll give you all the details there as well.
Or walk into the office and grab it.
Even better.
Yeah,
Even
for
better.
sure. Well, how do we find you?
So give us a call. Our office here, 949-496-5794. Of course, you can hit us on the web at danawharf.com. You can link us through the Let's Talk Hookup page. Or just keep tabs on our Instagram or Facebook page. We'll have the links there as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, thanks for that. Appreciate that. I'm glad your voice is coming back.
Dude, it's been a month.
Yeah, he's
For a month.
sound like the good old Wooly again, man.
It's like every week we get the progression.
Dude, I
right?
was feeling so bad for you last week. That was a rough
it was
one.
tough.
Well, yeah, the week before I couldn't even talk. But yeah, I mean, I feel perfect. I just can't talk. It's kind of nice to guess, but it's all good.
Yeah, cool, man.
Great job, Willie. Appreciate that as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Talk to you next
All right,
week.
have a great Thanksgiving too, guys.
All right, happy
Thanks, homie.
Thanksgiving to you. Talk to you next Sunday.
You
for
too,
sure.
bud.
Yeah.
All right, now let's hit the surf. The surf guru, Gundy Gunderson, is on the line. What's up, Gundy?
Hey, gentlemen. What's happening?
Gundy, you are.
Doing great, bud.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone and have a nice, safe holiday.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little scratch fishing, water temperature dipped. We're coming off the full moon tide, so that striper kind of disappeared. But the guys are putting together catches, mostly barred perch, and then, the halibut's definitely was pursuing there. Hook, line, sinker reported decent barred perch fishing, gaviota, El Cap, Galita, lots of 5 to 8 inch fish, some double-digit kickers. I saw some pictures of some 12-inch fish this week, a little better quality showing there. Black Rock kicked out a few legal halibut, drop shot flukes there. Malibu Reef, squid, shrimp, taking a mix of barred perch, sargo, sheephead, smelt, small croakers, kind of the cooler water species. Big fish reported slow fishing on the beaches, but still some halibut at the harbor mouth. Inside the harbor, live smelt is the ticket there. Hogan's reported the halibut specialist scratching at a mix of short and legal fish. Cut anchovies, probably the top bait for those guys, but some fish taken on soft jerk baits. 2 legal fish taken at Doheny there. Pacific Coast reported the same, kind of slow fishing, little perch action, few halibut in the lagoons, that kind of deal. Some of my guys sent me some pictures. They've been experimenting with these Ned rigs. It's a bass fishing rig. Rock Cod probably knows about it, but they're kind of micro jigs, and they make a really cool, Z-Man makes this little crustacean. It looks like a sand crab, and these guys are using these little Ned rigs, a mushroom head, with these little baits. There's also a crawdad bait, and they just look killer, and they're making some catches in the surf, 4 and 6 pound stuff.
Yeah, that's some good fishing, man. I'll tell you what, it's not time to put your surfboards away, right, Gundy?
No, there's always something to catch, and like I said, you got to downsize, go light, and you still can bend your rod.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the word.
All right.
Gundy, as always, a great report. Sure appreciate you always taking the time to compile everything. And my favorite thing about the Gundy report is even when the fishing isn't great, there's always some some little thing that you're going to put a feather in your cap that's going to catch you a fish later on down the line. Rigging, tools, whatever it might be. Always appreciate the hard work, Gundy. We look forward to talking to you next week.
Happy Thanksgiving.
The Ned rig.
Ned rig, yeah.
I dig it.
Thanks, Gundy.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Gundy.
that very
Have a
much.
good one, guys.
You got it. Well,
All
that's
right.
going to wrap up our catch board today. I want to remind you, pardon me, as Pete said, the 2025 CCA Sport Fishing Calendar is out now. You'll find it at local tackle shops and all the landings. It's full of amazing photography and Ollie tide charts, important dates, tips on how to make you a better angler, and you can find it today at a store near you or just order it online at surffishtackle.com.
There is a picture of Ollie in this year's calendar. What the heck kind of fish is that?
That's a fireback grouper from the Bahamas. Really, maybe one of the coolest fish I've ever seen.
Really?
In my life.
So cool.
I didn't even know that
Beautiful
they
fish.
existed. I think it's called the right name's a yellowtail grouper.
So how did we not get through a whole year without having to look at Ollie one month?
Dude, I
Right?
apologize in
Yeah.
advance. I don't want to look at me. We've got
That's the
really,
coolest looking grouper.
I would have put
Huh?
that as like a Great Barrier Reef
Yeah.
fish. Like that is
Yellow.
as cool looking as it comes.
They are crazy, and I
Sick.
thought
Yeah.
I caught every grouper down there, and then that thing came up. Dude, I was blown away. Just look at the tail. It looks like somebody
They
dipped it
pull
in black
hard?
paint. Oh, they all pull hard.
Yeah.
That's so rad.
They all pull hard.
Giant.
Again, that's the kind of stuff that you'll get when you go out
In
and
the
get back there
Bahamas.
and go fishing with Rush too. I mean, dude, his bottom fish program, it ain't rock cod. I mean,
No.
these are pin you to the rail, crying for your mommy, 20-pound
Really?
button snappers. It's another
That
level.
looks like
And the
fun.
stuff eats really, really well.
And the
Oh,
fact
yeah.
that you can do it when it's soggy and cold out here and not something to do. Like, what a cool way to go grab a
Totally.
few days, go thaw out, go catch some radfish. I
Getting
love
a
it.
Yeah.
sunburn in January is, that's a pretty awesome thing.
Check it out. Here's a little preview for you. Watching us on YouTube and Facebook Live. There's the Ollie. What month is he? Is the cover? Oh, December. We have to
It's
wait all the way to December.
That's actually a picture of Rush. I just happen to be standing next to him.
You can get Ollie to Sharpie that, for the winner of the prize today.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot of Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. Another full hour of your phone calls and text. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
24 years ago, I visited this amazing place called Hawaii Archipelago. I just could not get enough of these amazing islands, natural beauty, friendly people, and phenomenal fishing. I knew I had to spend more time there. Moving forward to today, here I am, a fishing lodge owner. Hi, this is Valerie Hill from Queen Charlotte Safaris in beautiful Hawaii Islands, British Columbia, Canada. We are a boutique lodge just steps from the Sandstreet Harbor, offering a truly unique fishing adventure. Our fishing is world class. You will fish for king salmon, halibut, lingcod, and much more. Our fishing grounds are untouched, unspoiled, and surrounded by stunning scenery. We are dedicated to making your adventure an experience that will be a lifetime of memories. We will welcome you as friends, and you will leave as part of the Queen Charlotte Safaris family. You will come for the fishing, and you'll come back for the memories. We are booking now. Please give me a call at 1-877-815-2892 or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or website qcsafaris.com.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Searcher Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from 1.5 to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure online at searchersportfishing.com or call Rachel at 619-226-2403. That's searchersportfishing.com. Look forward to welcoming you aboard.
Sports Grid Radio Network is the premier audio streaming channel dedicated to serving the massive sports wagering and fantasy audience. Found on the Sports Grid app and SiriusXM. Sports Grid's real-time data transforms viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Get the best in-game live coverage during all the games, as well as the most in-depth pre-game previews from hosts like Scott Farrell, Donnie Rightside, Ben Stevens, Gabe Morency, and many more. To find out where you can listen to Sports Grid, go to sportsgridradio.com. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
The fish are biting and it's time to go. Hi, this is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay, or maybe in front of the shop on my kayak. It doesn't matter if you are out there on a kayak with me, on your boat, headed out on a sport boat. Dana Landing has everything you need. We call it the one-stop shop for a great day on the water because it truly is. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. Our tackle shop, headed by John, is certainly one of the best. For freshwater tackle, nothing beats It's East County Bait and Tackle. These guys have the best rods and reels and the hottest lures and live bait. Our newest shop is Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle with a great stock of both fresh and saltwater tackle right in the heart of Lemon Grove. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, 94 to Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay. Check out danalanding.com for more details.
Seasoned long-range fishermen know that the Red Rooster 3 is the finest fishing vessels in terms of technology, design, speed, comfort, and safety. This 105-foot sport fishing yacht meets every demand for comfort while delivering an unforgettable fishing vacation. Captain Andy Cates and crew are experienced, friendly, and sincere in their desire to help you have the trip of a lifetime. Book a trip on the Red Rooster 3, and you'll be back. Trips go fast, so check redrooster3.com or call Lee Palm Sport Fisheries at 619-224-3857.
And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best, Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup, right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Sports Grid Radio Network, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 1090 AM. Pete Gray here, along with Rock Cod Rick Maxa in the world headquarters right next to very busy San Diego landings, as we heard earlier from Frank Lopresti in Point Loma, and Ali and Yusef Hussainy. Of course, Ali, BD Outdoors, Seakeeper, Blue Seas Stabilization is the name of that company. And of course, fishdope.com. And Yusef is the Angler's Realtor, Sportsman Realtor, right, Yusef?
Sportsman's Realty.
Right. Sportsman's Realtor.
Boat builder, charter boat captain. What else? Like, is there another job in the fishing industry? You dig night crawlers too? Like, I mean, is there a job in the fishing industry that you haven't had yet?
Like, I just keep looking for something I'm good at.
Yeah. That's it. Covering all the aspects here, and we're giving away a great prize this morning.
You're not kidding. It's probably my favorite thing that we're so lucky to get to give away, and so proud to be a part of the Costa team. And again, one lucky caller or texter at the end of today's show is going to win a $300 gift certificate to CostaSunglasses.com. Spend it however you want. You're going to get the best glasses on the water, and you're also going to get the brand new 2025 Bill Varney calendar. A really, really cool prize to one lucky caller or texter at the end of the show today. Again, if you want to get through in the phones, it's 213-432-1090, or keep those texts rolling with the Let's Talk Hookup app.
A lot of great pictures, except for December in that calendar. A lot of really cool stuff.
It's always December at Pete's house.
Check it out. Hey, I have a text here from John in San Diego. He says, it's directed at Yusef. Are there ways to use home loan tax advantage to purchase a boat?
Home loan tax.
So if can you take out a second on your home, purchase the boat, and then write that tax off, write the interest off on your taxes?
That would be a question for a CPA, probably.
Yeah. But why wouldn't you?
Yeah, fundamentally, that sounds like
it sounds like it would work.
Take out a second instead of getting a boat loan.
Yeah,
take out a second on your house.
I mean, to buy the boat, no problem.
Off.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't make a difference on what you use the money for.
Well, there used to be that deal where, like, if the boat had a toilet and met a couple of things, then you could also write it off as a second home. I don't know if that's still
there
too or not.
Yeah, it's got to be over like 26 feet.
Definitely talk to your tax person.
Yeah, that's a tax question.
Poop or a bathroom and a kitchen or something.
Right.
But yeah, for sure, that's a tax question. But it sounds like it's doable.
Okay. All right.
I like it.
Very good.
That's a good one. Hey, I had another fun text. Good morning, guys. Excited for this show. Ollie, can you talk a little bit about some of the techniques that you found that have crossed over from Florida to Southern California? Also, do you guys have any cool destinations planned for the show that you're excited about? That's Rory and Lakeside.
Hey, Rory. Crossover stuff. The two that come to mind right away was in our first couple of seasons, we took the jig sticks over to Florida. No surprise at all. They worked insane. Like cobia, love eating surface iron. We caught amberjacks. You couldn't keep them off the surface iron. We caught kingfish on it. I think a lot of that stuff that gets regionalized it'll work anywhere. My favorite story is when I first saw a cedar plug. I thought it was like the Budweiser lure. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Remember that old can of beer with the, I'm
Totally.
like, what the hell is this? The first time the albacore came back when we were young, I'm like, this cannot catch fish.
Not possible.
It's a freaking stick of wood with a hook hanging. Somebody's pulling one out, and then you see it catch a pile of fish. And I mean, that wasn't that long ago, you know? And then the other thing I think we brought from out there is the sword fishing stuff. You know, when we were trying to figure out the sword fishing stuff 10, 12, even 15 years ago, I know I booked a trip with Nick Stanzik, and we went and fished with him so I could ask him a million questions over 3 days. And, you know, we invited the booby trap guys out, and they came out and fished with us and taught us some more. And basically we're doing the exact same thing as they do over there, except it's a lot easier because we don't have the current that they have. You know, they're fishing in a river that's moving 3 miles an hour typically. And then, you know, we don't have the same depths. So we don't need as long a leader. We don't have to, you know, motor the boat up swell and then lay our leader out and all that. So we're fortunate. We call it deep water purple cod fishing. You know, it's like, it ain't that hard. If you can get a bait down there without tangling it, you're kind of in the game. So those are the two that really come to mind, you know, and I think you could also make an argument for some of the spinners. 10 years ago, you would have got laughed off this coast, but with the emergence of the bluefin and throwing poppers and stick baits and all that, you know, in a lot of cases, the spinner is a better tool until you hook one. And that's some of the big crossover stuff that I've definitely seen in the last few years.
All right, cool. Well, let's jump into the phones. And you want to get through, one line open. JP standing by, 213-432-1090.
Mike from Rosemead, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, guys. Well, you've already compared the states as far as the fishing here in California and the weather to the East Coast. But being in California and under this umbrella of political rhetoric that the morons up in the state of our state in Sacramento are running it, how do you compare the differences as far as outdoorsmen, you know, what they have advantage over us? And for Yusef, what's the housing market comparisons between California and Florida, Louisiana? And give us an example of that. Thank you.
I mean, I think sportsman-wise, I mean, gosh, I'd probably say Florida is a more sportsman-friendly state. You know, they've got
everybody has a boat,
lots and lots of boats, but I'll tell you, man, they all were looking at us when we had the MPAs come through, and they were like, "Oh, that could never happen here." Da da da. Boom, snapper fishing shut down. Oh, you get one weekend a year to fish the most abundant fish off of their coast. We were talking about it, you know, off the air, like. Back in the day in Florida, a 20-pound American red snapper, that was called a sow, and that was the number. That was a cow tuna. Now you can't beat 30-pounders off your hooks with a baseball bat. There's dude, it was just like the science that happened to us here. You know, if you were a bluefin tuna researcher and you went out to the backside of San Clemente on January 1st and didn't see any bluefin tuna, you wouldn't be too shocked, right?
Yeah.
Like if you asked us, we'd be like, yeah, you're not going to find a tuna out there right now. The water's too cold. They did the exact same thing. They went where the snapper weren't at the wrong time of the season, and they go, oh, these things are endangered. It was the exact same thing. So Florida, I would say, is definitely a little bit more liberal, but with the rules and the regs and all that, but it's all trending the same way.
Yep.
And that's why organizations like CCA are so important. CCA has a huge constituency in Florida, and they fight. We have a huge constituency in California, and they fight. Like, you want to keep what you love to do, man. That's really the best thing. And yeah, that's really it. You know, I think they both have their advantages. Again, you know, we have the weather, they have probably better fishing, but during certain times of year that might flip flop, but try it all. Just get out there. It's not that hard to get on a plane and fly out there. And the charters are very cheap compared to what we pay out this way. It's definitely worth a look.
Yusef, if you were like a sportsman-orientated person and you've done well with your Southern California home and you had a bunch of equity in it and you were thinking about buying another property in another state, whether it be like a fishing spot or something like that, where would you venture out to?
Honestly, I would probably go to the Keys. The fishing's insane.
Right.
The houses aren't a ton more than here, you know, for something right on the water. You can get, you know, if you have a really nice house in East County, you can go out, sell your house and move out there and buy a palace on a canal. And
it's kind of like what Danny did.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what lots of people are doing. Upper Florida near Sarasota and that kind of thing is really good right now on deals. They are overbuilding there. There is a lot of builders that are going belly up. And so you're going to see a lot of deals over there, and those
Got it.
will likely get gobbled up by people that are using them as second homes and that kind of thing. But I think the market.
Do you help
over
people
there,
buy stuff back there?
I send them to. I've got some agents,
Got some
up and
agents,
down Florida and pretty much all over the country. If I don't have one, I'll ask a buddy in the office, or we've got a relocation program I can go through as well. But yeah, it's a good time to buy over there.
That's
As
cool.
far as you know, you can go get a deal, steal some of those places, and you're going to start seeing tax sales and that kind of thing because they have the opposite problem we have here. They expected way more growth than they had. And now you're going to have thousands of brand new homes that nobody's going to be able to occupy. It's going to make the market over there even softer.
And then you add in the number of hurricanes that they've had recent years to devastate several areas. People go, I'm out of here, right? So
Yep,
yeah.
exactly.
So
Our market's crazy for housing. Theirs is like on another level. I mean, you know, the big swings that we've seen up,
Okay.
down,
Yeah.
and all that. I feel like there it's like it can be 50% more gnarly.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. I
when
wouldn't- I
things
wouldn't
are
know
bad,
that.
you can steal. And when
Uh-huh.
things are good, it is really hard. It
like
fluctuates.
post COVID, it was like
big
it went
time.
crazy,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody
yeah.
in the Northeast wanted to have a house in Florida, and then all of a sudden the reality set in with hurricanes and
Not that
distance and stuff.
Yeah.
Like and now it's going the other way.
And it's the same thing with Tennessee. You know, everybody moved to Tennessee.
Yeah,
and
I
then-
knew a lot of people from here that moved to Tennessee.
Well, a
I've
lot of
been to
people did-
Tennessee. That's not happening.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize they have tornadoes.
Yeah.
And
And
they've got
an
some
actual
gnarly
winter.
weather. Yeah,
Bugs
exactly.
and real bugs. Yeah.
No.
Yes. So I mean, you're paying for the sunshine.
Yeah.
A lot of our state things suck, but I mean, you can't ask for more. Look at
Yeah,
this place.
so true,
I
man.
mean, we're wearing flip flops in December. I mean, where else can you do that
Yeah.
besides Florida?
You have ants that crawl across your concrete. Like, oh man, I got bugs I got to deal with. Like,
Exactly,
yeah, we don't have bugs. And then
No.
like if you wake up and it's 50 degrees in East County in the morning, oh, I got to put a hoodie
It's
on. And
cold.
It's
It's
cold in this winter
freezing.
time. It's like, no, that's not winter either.
Yeah, no, totally.
We're so spoiled.
Or if it blows 30 knots, we're like, oh my god. And then other places there's a tornado that'll take your house away from you. Like,
I imagine having your life uprooted by the weather.
Unreal.
It can happen any
Yeah,
day
totally.
to pretty much anywhere else in the country, just not here.
Yeah.
You
Here
know?
we have earthquakes. But
We have earthquakes
it's
and
not even
fires.
that big of a deal.
I've never had
Fires
a
are
book
certainly
fall
a problem.
off of my shelf
Yeah.
from an earthquake.
My lifetime.
Rush has lost a house. My producer has lost almost his whole house. Like that is
Multiple times,
no joke.
Yes. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
joke. Yeah, lifted the roof off his house and put it right back down.
Yeah.
Imagine fixing
Oh
that
my
after the fact.
God,
Yeah,
dude.
for sure.
You know,
Hey,
and the insurance company and that we have it very, very.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
good
the
here,
insurance
for
situation
sure.
there is out of
It's
control.
insane.
Well, it's kind of like here with the fire. If you're in a fire zone, it's
Yeah.
not a pretty
Everybody's
sight
in the
either.
fire zone now since they
Yeah.
remapped it.
Not
Like
me.
I had one.
I don't know
I know
how.
it's crazy. I had one. I sold a couple months ago a condo in Mission Valley, and it needed the fair plan.
Oh, come on.
I swear
In
to
Mission
God.
Valley.
Yeah, because it's right next to the river. They called it. They remapped all of this 2 years ago or a year and a half
Call
ago.
it a flood zone?
No, it's a wildfire zone.
Well, to be fair, there's
Heavy
probably
wildfires.
35
Really?
fires going on there right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
so-
seriously. Same guys
Wow.
that did the MLPA.
Well, there was
studies.
yeah,
fire
yeah.
zones.
There was a big there was a big fire a couple weeks ago right by SDSU.
Yeah.
You know,
Right?
that's
Sure.
good.
In the canyon there.
But I think that was a hobo fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got
Yeah.
away for sure.
Hey, morning. It's Rob in Seal Beach. He says, morning, guys. I have a Glacier Bay 26 catamaran. I was wondering if I can put a seakeeper on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as you've got the room, we can definitely put one in. That boat would take a Seakeeper 1, which opens up a world of options. As you know, Pete, it's just not very big.
Right.
So the thing we need basically we look for is a spot to put it, and then we have to be able to secure it to the stringers. Even if it's not on center line, you can kind of make, if you imagine like a perch style bracket that would hold it off to the side. And that's
I didn't
really
know
all
you could
need.
put a seakeeper on a catamaran.
Yeah, you want it. That big cat that I've just built for my client, he is deadly afraid of being seasick. I've never seen him seasick once, but we put a Seakeeper 9 in it. I mean,
On one side of it?
No, right up the middle of the tunnel, and then it's like there's a compartment, and the bait tank sits on top of that.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. And we were like, oh, how big of a difference can it? We were doing sea trials. It makes a big difference, man.
cool.
Given the weight and all that, you really only need like a 6, but we had to go up about 50% in power because the catamarans are inherently so stable to begin with. I haven't been on a boat yet that I didn't think it made a
That's
huge
cool.
difference on. So it's definitely, it makes boating a heck of a lot more fun.
And that ride system, their new ride system is
It's crazy.
crazy
We're
for
gonna get
small
one on
boats,
Pete's
and
boat.
it's super affordable.
The ride system, if you don't know what that is, we call it basically like a high-tech trim tab system. And, like Zipwake can adjust your tabs 10 times a second. This thing does 1,000 times a second, makes micro corrections, and it holds the bow of the boat down so that the boat doesn't skip, hop, or pound. And also you're cutting through the waves with the sharp part of the boat where it's meant to be cut, cutting through, not slapping on the middle of the boat. And then, everybody hates, and even on my boat's 39 feet long. I get a couple guys moved to one side while we're running. I'm ready to crack somebody.
Right.
It pisses
it automatically
zero,
compensates.
nada, none. When you go to turn, it feels like the boat's on rails because it actually
Really?
twists the trim tabs. So it feels like you're almost in a, catamaran turn feels kind of different. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
There's
pretty
just
wild.
no downside to it. We put them in some of these 25 Parkers, and I'm not joking. That Parker goes from riding like a 25 Parker to like a 32 Contender.
That's crazy.
It rides phenomenal.
What's
It makes
so
such a
wild too
difference.
is it's very within budget for a lot more people. I mean, Seakeeper is a fantastic piece of machinery. It's changed boating, but it's just not available for everybody.
1,000%.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, you can't. Put
And
a
it's
Seakeeper-
worth that money.
25
but it's
Parker,
a lot of
how
money.
much is it to get a Seakeeper ride?
For like the medium-sized kit put in, you're looking at about, I think off the top of my head, about 10 grand.
10 grand.
You know,
Installed,
ready to go, turnkey. And what it does, the magic is in the brain box. So we basically mount that thing where your electronics are, and then we tell it, okay, right now while we're sitting here, the boat's level. What then, by using those tabs at the back, and they're not tabs, they're an actuator. They're crazy. They came out of the auto space. But those actuators will actually keep that boat at that optimal angle. And you can say, hey, I want more power, or I want a little bit less power, depending on how it performs. You can adjust it manually if you want, but it will fight to keep that boat running flat, which is what you always want, the boat running the way it was designed to, and level. And that, as an ancillary benefit, we've got guys telling us in these Parkers, they're seeing 10 to 15% increase in economy.
Crazy. Wow.
So I'm putting it in my Contender because my Contender is a very, very deep V, and it likes to kind of move from side to side when I'm cruising on the chines. If I take that out, I know I'm going to get better fuel economy, and my boat's going to run better. There's just no downside to it. And I think you'll start seeing them just as you have the Seakeeper. It's just going to be a checkbox on that build sheet when you buy your new boat from now on.
In the charter world that you're in too, especially running the distances that new boat affords you to run, you start talking about saving 15% on fuel. Like, it is legitimately going to pay for itself.
Dude, I can burn 1,500 to 2 Gs in a blink.
That's what I'm saying.
You make one wrong turn, or you got to change direction. Like, $2,000, you save 15%. That's $300. That does not take very long to add up when you're doing the kind of hours that we do.
That's legit.
Not only
and
that,
more comfort and better. On your spine. I mean, all the other
on a
answers.
smaller boat, you're usually messing with the trim tabs all the time. I know
Right.
I am when
All
I'm
the
driving
time.
out. Like, that's such a game
Yeah,
changer to
totally.
not have to touch them.
Yeah.
That is huge.
And know that you're running right. And I mean, for me, man, I'm 51 years old, and I know people
Wow,
are
are you
me.
old?
I'm not that young anymore to be running around at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Dude, I just want to save my back, save my knees,
Oh, yeah.
preserve your body. So hopefully we can keep doing this until we're 82, like Pete.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to be Bob Dawson. That's what I want to be.
Dude,
I want to be Bob
man.
Dawson.
All I
dude.
want to be.
I want to be Bob
Chris
Dawson.
Minnick.
Or Chris Minnick, yeah. And I want to go stroke an 80-pound yellow and smoke a stogie while I'm doing
Yeah.
it and be on the Royal Star. Like, that's what I want.
That's it.
That's
yeah,
legit.
totally.
Yeah, for sure. Let's jump in the phones,
You
Rick.
got it, man. How about this time we jump in and talk to Jeff? Jeff's calling us from San Diego this morning. Hey, Jeff, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey guys, this is Cool Tuna. Hey Yusef. Hey Ali.
What's up, Jeff?
Hey,
What's
Jeff.
up, buddy?
Yusef, Yusef was a miracle man for me, man. Sold my place in Carmel Mountain, got me out of San Diego, got me into Kentucky. Had a nightmare of an escrow here. California just doesn't want you to leave anymore, man. But Yusef stepped up and got everything worked out for me, made it so smooth. The dude is just a miracle worker, I tell you.
Thank you.
I just got back from a 3-day on the Vagabond.
Hey, nice. How'd it go, Jeff?
Actually made a run. We actually made a run all the way down to Cedros.
Whoa.
And got into the yellowfin and the bluefin down there. Steve Carson joined us, went along with us on the trip, and he nailed a 200-pound bluefin right at dark, the day that we got there at night. And then I hooked into a monster that worked my butt around the boat for about 2 hours and then got cut off by a stray piece of braid. But we saw it once, and it looked to be about 200 pounds as well.
Ooh.
But and then I'm leaving after Thanksgiving on the 10-day for the Vagabond.
Wow.
All right.
Well, I guess you like it out here still.
Yeah. Well, this fishing is a lot better out here than in Kentucky. But Kentucky's really nice, and
that's cool,
Well,
buddy.
nice
Nice
what
going.
it did for me is allowing me to come back out here.
That's it. Yusef made you some money. All right. Cool, man. Well, nice to hear from you.
Yeah, good job, Jeff.
All right, Jeff.
Thanks,
Great,
Jeff.
and enjoy your 10-day too.
That's cool.
All right.
Hey, I had a great text. Good morning, guys. I love the show and love the content from Local Knowledge. I have to say it's the best produced angling show I've ever seen, in my opinion. Keep them coming, and I want to back up the same thing. I love it. I think you guys do
Yeah,
a
they
better
do a killer
job than
job.
anybody has put fishing on TV. I love it, man.
Thank you guys so much. I'm super proud. Dude, I don't know how I stumbled into all this stuff. It's really,
It's cool.
it's the guys around us. Just find good talent, keep them happy, feed these nerds what they need to film and edit and do all that stuff. And it's been a lot of fun.
It's Ralph and Menifee. His question, however, is for Yusef. It says, is the process of buying land and building a home more difficult than purchasing an existing home? Could you give me a list of some of the advantages and disadvantages? It's Ralph and Menifee.
Hey, Ralph, thanks for reaching out. There's advantages and disadvantages. The biggest thing is going to be how much cash you have. When you go to buy a piece of land, they'll usually require 50% down, most any bank. There are different stipulations with that, where if you buy, let's say, a piece of property and it has utilities on it, if it's ready to go, there's a lot of banks that will give you that property with 20 to 30% down and fund the whole build. So it just really depends on where you're at as far as cash flow in your pocket. And there's ways you can get creative as well when buying those properties. Having people that are selling them carry paper is huge while you build the home. And sometimes you don't record a note with that. So that way they're basically holding the property with a note that's not recorded. Then you can go to the bank and say, hey, I've got this property and I need lending, and it looks clear to them, and they'll give you lending on it. But there's many ways to do it. A lot of people don't do it now. I think it's a great way to gain equity because, you go spend $400,000 on a house, you spend $200,000 on a lot. Many times the house is going to be worth $900,000 or $1 million when you're done.
When you're all done.
Yeah. So, that's a great equity gain.
Yeah, that's
there.
for sure.
And you have a brand new home.
There you go.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Brand new. You don't have to worry about fixing things up. And
Well, that's not always the case.
there's always that kind of stuff.
But like you say, though, modern electrical and modern whatever it might be, like you're not chasing down an old problem. No matter how killer a house is, if it's got 50-year-old bones, it's also got 50-year-old some problems. Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Not to say that that's a turnoff either, but it's just one of the things. It's one of the boxes to check, just exactly like you were saying.
Exactly. Yep. Less things to go wrong. Buy you some time on the plumbing, windows,
Totally.
everything. So.
Right, for sure. Hey, Dave Morgan, our resident CPA, chimes in from Cabo here.
What's up, Dave?
on that, and he says a loan on a boat can be deductible if there's a place to cook, a place to sleep, and a place to go to the bathroom. It is essentially qualifies as a second home. So, assuming you don't already have a second home, the interest can be deductible. There are also mortgage interest deduction limitations to consider. So there you go, Dave. Dave knows his stuff.
Bucket and a microwave.
Yeah,
Check.
exactly. My Parker 25 is good to go, baby.
Exactly.
Well, I'd say it's time for the fishdope.com report,
Well,
right?
that sounds good to me. And when it is, it's always from our friends at Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you get the premier processing experience. You can check out the easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. Now with the new team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity, the finest customer service. Stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com and be sure to make your reservation today. Nothing like making a reservation, going on a long-range trip, pulling up to the dock, and just having everything being taken care of. Those guys, the next time you see your fish, it's in 5 mil backpack bags, and there's a guy from Fisherman's Processing loaded in your cooler, and you're walking away.
There you go. That's it. And the other thing, too, I might recommend if you're using Fisherman's Processing, you're not going to pick up your fish right away and you're going to freeze most of it. Have them flash freeze it right away. It makes a much, much better product.
That's a mistake that I've been making for a lot of years. I always convince
sits
myself that
there
I'm gonna make it the following morning or that afternoon, and I'm going to eat a ton of it fresh and we give it away fresh. And next thing you know, like, oh man, the next day didn't work out and it's been sitting there. And then I'm picking it up fresh and I'm going to take it home and try to freeze it in my chest freezer that doesn't get as cold as fast as there. You're so right about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
and because they do it on racks, it freezes much more evenly and it makes a way better product.
You get more longevity out of it for sure.
Well, Yusef, what's going on?
Well, it's the same deal it's been for the past few weeks. Things are starting to slow down as far as
local stuff.
The local islands, Santa Cruz, still loaded with squid. You can still get a sea bass or a yellowtail over there, but it is few and far between for the most part, just because there's so much bait in the water. Obviously, you get away from the bait and you have better odds. One thing that is really good right now is the bass fishing in Santa Monica Bay. Danny said it's epic bass fishing. If you're in that area, get out there on El Segundo Pipe or over at the tanker buoys.
Oh, that's good info.
Yep, been really good. The tuna on the Tanner and Cortez have dried up finally. There were a couple boats out there this week. The Tribute had a great score on yellowtail, and they had some big yellowtail too.
Yeah, it looked like really nice grade. We talked to Mike yesterday. He was talking about how good that fishing was, and not necessarily a very experienced group of guys, and they were still crushing them.
That's what I heard. They put the wood to them. There is, Danny said there is some mixed grade in there as well. He said there is just, you'll pull up to a spot and it'll be straight rats, and then you pull up to another spot and it's bigger fish.
Cool.
So
wow.
But yeah, there is some good quality yellows to be caught out there. And the last thing is just the yellowfin. Down south, they're catching those bluefin and yellowfin. That stuff's still on the Ranger Bank, still very far. They're getting big yellowfin though,
That's
and
awesome.
like, where can you go and catch
90-pound
bluefin?
yellowfin and 200-pound bluefin?
Totally.
On the fly line sardine.
Yeah.
In the
100%.
summertime
Frank earlier,
with your
right?
shorts on.
They're chomping on, and they've been chewing for month and a half, 2 months now.
Crazy.
It's like we had that long sinker fishing at the beginning of the year this year, and
It's
it's kind
totally
of the
like
other
that.
end of that.
Yeah.
So,
that's
but-
good stuff, man. Fishdope.com. Save $30 on a new membership to fishdope.com using the code Hookup Now, lowercase, no space. Hookup Now, the $30 code. And we have to let you give your plug. How do we hook up with the best realtor in San Diego?
Well, you can get me on my cell phone at 619-277-2169, on social media at calrealty.com. You can hit my website at sportsmansrealty.com. And if you'd like a free home evaluation, you can jump on to socalhomeeval.com, and it'll send you an automatic evaluation of your home. If you'd like me to follow up, put a note in there.
There it is.
Yep.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We got more of your phone calls. We got more great texts. We got more information with the boys. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Don't delay and take advantage during Yamaha's Why Wait for Spring sales event. From now until December 6, 2024, eligible new 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboards include up to $500 in dealer credit, and new Yamaha 450 to 425 horsepower outboards include 7 years of coverage protection. 350 to 30 horsepower outboards come with 6 years of coverage protection. Visit your local Yamaha dealer today. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offer ends December 6, 2024, subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models exclude new 2.5 to 25 four-stroke outboards and dealer credit up to $500 based on horsepower toward the MSRP value of goods and services purchased at the authorized participating dealer that sold the outboard. At no extra cost to the consumer, new 425 to 450 horsepower is a 24-month Yamaha extended service added to a 60-month factory limited warranty. New 30 to 350 horsepower is a 36-month Yamaha extended service added to a 36-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered by Florida dealers is a Yamaha extended limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha dealer for details. Not be used with any other Yamaha offer.
Rock Cod Rick here to tell you about Parker Boats and the guys at West Coast Marine. By now, you all know my boat partner and I bought a new 25 Parker center console from crew at West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa. We've known for a long time that a Parker was the boat for us. It's a stout workhorse of a boat built to last and get you home when the seas get rough. Parker Boats have the launch ramp, the offshore tuna grounds. You wake up in the morning on an overnight trip and there they are. Parker Boats of all sizes, fishing in the same areas as the sporties. There's a good reason for it: fishability and seaworthiness. West Coast Marine has several new Parkers in stock and ready for delivery. and they have more on the way. Don't get caught without a reliable boat when fishing is this good. Take it from me, if you're ready for a new Parker at a fair, upfront, and honest deal, you need to see West Coast Marine. Check out the inventory and information at westcoastmarine.com.
Long range fishing, nothing beats Shimano. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. Come check out the Shimano Talica, the pinnacle of lever drag 2-speed reels. The Talica features Shimano's Hagani body when throwing jigs. The Shimano Trinidad is your top choice. With the extreme cranking power and Shimano Super Free Spool provides extreme castability. You'll be able to put your jig in the Wahoo zone. For all your Shimano needs, visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from and both sit on the cliff edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing from the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning, talking fun with the boys. Good fishing going on.
Look
Great
at the fog. If you're looking at the cam right now, the outdoor cam on YouTube and Facebook Live, that fog moved.
When we got here, you could see the big 3 landings, no problem. We were watching fish getting unloaded, as we were hanging out here in the world headquarters, and now you could get maybe 3 sailboat masts, and then that's it. It's just straight socked in. It's a foggy morning this morning for sure.
Foggy morning, but post a little bit of rain for sure. A lot of good stuff going on here. Ali and Yusef giving away a $300 gift card to CostaSunglasses.com and a Bill Varney 2025 calendar. I can't, hard to say, 2025
crazy, right?
calendar, right?
Unreal.
Yeah,
Years,
crazy.
time's flying by.
Yeah, it is. Tell me about it.
Some great fishing, and we want to have you join us, man. If you want to be a part of the show, still plenty of time to do it. 213-432-1090 is the number. 100% packed up right now, but there's going to be plenty of time to get your phone calls through today.
Yeah, let's jump back in the phone.
That sounds good. How about we talk to Alex? He's calling us from San Carlos this morning. Good morning, Alex. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm in a pretty good situation here. My wife and I, we bought our house in 2020, like right during the shutdown. And then we refinanced when the rates went down. So, the value of the house has gone up like 35% or something like that. But we want to do a kitchen remodel. I'm trying to see if there's a way that we can apply for a loan where we wouldn't have to refinance the house, have a bigger interest rate. And I don't know if the taxes would go up if we try to take a loan out, if they got to evaluate the value of the home or something.
So I can help you with that. No, you wouldn't really be paying taxes on it because you're going to be borrowing money for the home to put upgrades in. So the best situation that you have is to get into a home equity line. And home equity lines are usually like 10 to 15 years long. You will end up at the end paying a lot less interest on that money. But if you have the equity, and they usually want you to have at least 20% equity in the home. So anything you have over that 20%, you can borrow.
That's
and
legit.
I would highly recommend talking to like a local credit union. If let's say you're a firefighter, go to the local firefighters credit union, or it sounds like you're in San Carlos, Mission Fed or Wheelhouse would probably be your best bet. And just go in there and talk to them, tell them what you're planning on doing, and get that loan.
That's cool.
And then as rates go down, refi the thing. And, if you have to move to another credit union, do it, because it'll save you a decent chunk of money.
And that's the key is, when the market is challenging now, is you can make a good buy and you can always refi, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the key.
Yep. Buy it now, maybe don't put as much money down so you have the money in the bank to pay that little bit bigger of a payment.
Yeah.
As soon as the rates drop, refi the thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Every time it drops a point, it's worth doing.
I've done it multiple times on my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now I have a loan that I'll never have to refinance. So
Totally.
yeah, and that's that's your goal.
Yep.
Is
Exactly.
buy it when the market when you can afford it and buy it.
Totally.
And then refi as the opportunities come.
Yeah, don't let the right place get away because you're worried about the rates today.
Right.
Like as soon as the rates drop a little more, and they likely will then just refi it again and then do it again and then do it again.
100%.
But you're going to be doing that with the home that you love.
Exactly. And it's never going to go up. You know, if anything, you're going to save money, and rent keeps going up every year. People don't think about this a lot. When you buy a house, it's like putting a plug in the boat. You know, that boat's always going to stay afloat at that same exact payment price, you know. But if you're renting, it's always going up. You know, that's the only way to stop it and actually make and save some money.
And by refining, you can make that payment lower.
Exactly. Yeah. Or you can stretch it or whatever you need to do, you know, to make your life more comfortable.
The only thing that does is the tax man keeps coming at you.
That's
the only problem.
Well, I mean, you get to write off your interest and you get to write off your taxes up to $10,000.
So you got that going for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, end of the year, you're going to do better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I had a great text come through. It says, "Hey, Pete and Rick, what a great show as always. I love it when you have the brothers on. I can't say enough good things about Yusef and his effort and overall professionalism in selling my deceased parents' home earlier this year. Yusef's knowledge and contact with immediate buyers was critical in selling this aged home in Point Loma. He's also an excellent resource for fishing tips. I highly recommend him to your listeners who are looking to buy or sell a home." That's from Dan in Durango, Colorado.
Yep.
Wow.
Great guy. I took care. He was actually an old charter captain.
Huh.
And he's friends with Fred and, you know, a lot of the old guys here. And just such a great dude. He's realistically, him and his family are a piece of Point Loma history. Like, him and his brother had this boat in the driveway that they had taken out, you know, offshore a million times. It was a little like rescue boat off one of the big tuna seiners.
Wow.
And they built a pilot house for it. It had a diesel engine in it. He told me his brother and him hooked a blue marlin off our coast and boated the thing, got it to the boat, the whole deal. But he's got photos of, you know, 20 yellowtail on his lawn that are giant, tunas all over their lawn of this house. I mean, so much history. It's so awesome. Rad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
one of those hidden Point Loma gems.
Totally.
This is one of the things I love about having Yusef on here is like, you're not, this isn't like a BS thing. You know, like our text message feed is full of people who you've literally sold and bought homes with. Like, it's not just some guy that's like
a lot of fans
hoping to score a sale. Like, there's 20 of those texts, the same thing that Dan just wrote to us. "Hey man, I used him. He was killer. Loved everything about it. Thanks for everything." Like, there's a lot of people cheering how much you helped them with this process. It's really cool.
I really appreciate that, everybody, too. You know, I am who I am.
Fake.
You hear on me. There's no fake, no nothing. I do
cool,
care, and I will always have your back.
That's legit.
For sure. Hey, David Mishmiel says, "Great show. Love when Ollie's on the show. I have a 25 Parker, but with a diesel stern drive with all the engine weight forward of the transom versus opposite weight distribution of the outboard engines. How does that affect the performance of the ride system?" Very good question.
I've actually ridden on that boat a good bit. I had a friend that had one back in the day, and that is the best riding Parker that I've ever been on.
Yeah,
that diesel with the weight down in the belly.
It's like the Davis boats.
Very similar.
Yeah, it's like
totally.
That stern drive just makes those things ride incredible.
And it's doing what the ride's doing to some extent, you know, keeping the bow down and not having all that power and weight hanging off the back of the boat. I can't say specifically for that boat, but I can tell you the other benefits of the lateral movement stopping, the better turning, the economy, all of that. I wouldn't hesitate to put them on there for a second. It's just, it'll do anything that your trim tabs are supposed to do, but automatically faster. And it's going to improve the ride. I guarantee it. Every boat has got a little bit of a hop to it, or it likes to pop up when it hits one swell and it's not in position to really punch through the next swell. This will eliminate it completely. I'd say take it for a spin. You know, we've got boats you can do a demo on, not inboard, but we have a couple Parkers. Guys will let us run their boats and do demos on. Come on out and try it. And you know, if you're into it,
try the ride system. So you have boats you can demo people on
100%.
Considering the ride system.
Yeah, we have a brand new Parker coming in partnership with Seakeeper that we're going to have here for a demo boat. So we should have a Parker 25 hopefully in January.
Wow.
That'll be outfitted with both the gyro and with the ride system that we can use to do demos, boat shows, all that good stuff, and we'll probably keep it down there in Mission Bay.
How cool that you could go turn it off, turn one system off, turn one system on, go 100%. Back and forth. Yeah, that's going to be legit.
You guys going to have that boat at the PCS show in March?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be there. Yeah.
You guys going to have a booth at the PCS show?
We will have a booth, and Seakeeper has a booth. And I think, you know, PCS show doesn't set up for demo rides. And it's like, That's the most frustrating thing about selling either ride or the gyro. It's not something you see, touch, anything. You have to experience
But you can
it.
see it on the boat.
You
when
can
it's
see the
there.
pieces and the parts, but I mean, that's like 10% of the story in my mind. I remember the first time I experienced a Seakeeper was with Grossbeck on Sea Bandit, and we went sword fishing, and it was like standing in a parking lot. On a boat that size,
it can't be real.
It's just magic, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was like it blew my mind how comfortable it was and all that. And now, fortunately, fast forward, and it's a pretty common deal.
When I was having the Steigercraft built back in Long Island, I was like considering the Seakeeper. I don't know why I was considering it. I should have just automatic and I was like, God, the money, it's more money and stuff. And Rick's goes, you have to do it, dude. You've already had a Seakeeper. You have to do it.
There is no going backwards.
Yeah.
And
I'm so glad he like convinced me. It's like you can't not put the Seakeeper in there. It's worth every penny, and 100%.
Oh man,
it was worth the extra money.
Especially at the process that you were at. You know what I mean? Like when you're building the boat, I'm not trying to pretend like it's not a big chunk. It is. And I'm not trying to pretend like that's an easy number to swallow. It's not. But like at the beginning, it's an extra $50 on your payment every month. And that is going to be so worth every little bit there is. The boat stops moving. I mean, you're on your boat and you rock back and forth and you push a button and that rock back and forth doesn't happen anymore. It's crazy.
If you're building a new boat about the size of Pete's or bigger, I mean, it's not an option.
It's almost
and like you said, it's like, your payment might go up 10%.
Yeah.
To not.
I mean, it's like a Seakeeper 1 installed 20 plus
30,
like
a little under 30, something like that. But I mean, you're talking about a brand new Parker these days is $250.
Right.
It's not. Would you increase your payment 10% to be able to go out and weather? You probably shouldn't.
Right.
And be that much more comfortable. It's just like they say, it makes boating more fun.
And your ride is going to be so much more pleasant and all these things. Fast forward when it comes time to sell that boat, when yours is the one on the market that has a Seakeeper and all the other ones that aren't, that's the reason. Like that's the reason yours gets sold right away and the others all struggle for the same thing. Like it's the chip.
And you will get that entire investment back.
Totally.
They're not going to pay $15,000 more for a boat with a Seakeeper. They'll pay $30,000 more just to know that they have one.
Yeah. Witness when I sold the
There you go.
Pacifica.
Yeah, totally.
Totally.
That's
Makes
exactly
it so
what
much
happened.
easier, man.
All right, let's jump right back into the phones. Talk to John. He's calling us from Huntington Beach this morning. Hey, John, thanks for hanging in there with us.
Hey, good morning, guys. I got two questions, one for Yusef, one for Ali. So for Yusef, are we in a housing bubble or on a housing bubble? And then for Ali, for a smaller, like 22, 23-foot fiberglass boat, do you recommend the ride system or the Seakeeper or both for that? And does the ride system work when the boat is stopped?
Yusef.
Okay. So I'll let Ollie start with this. Go for it, Ollie.
Okay, so for a 21, 22-foot boat, ride system, 1,000% recommend it. You can get away with the smallest kit, not very expensive layout. You're looking at about $7,500, $7,000 installed, ready to roll, turnkey. Big smiles on your face. It will make your boat ride like it's 50% longer. I mean, and it just, it's another thing you can't put into words. You just have to go try it. My buddy is the CFO over there. He fishes with me. We talk all the time. Great dude. He told me he put ride in his boat, and I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. Like I didn't see the value in it. He goes, I like the ride better than the gyro. I'm like, okay, man, you're a little bit of a company guy
okay,
here.
salesman. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And then I rode on the demo boat, and it was mind blowing. I mean, absolutely mind blowing what it does, and it just makes your boat perform the way that it was supposed to perform in ideal conditions. Except now, pretty much everything's in ideal condition. It does not affect the boat at rest. So only when you're running. It will make, obviously ride better fuel economy, level the boat out, do all that. But when you're at rest, that's where the gyro takes over. So if you have the opportunity to get both in there, I would never tell you no. But I think you've also got to take a hard look at what your boat's worth. If your boat's worth $30,000, you're not going to put a $30,000 Seakeeper in it. I'd talk you out of it. It's just bad math. But if you say, hey, this boat's only worth $30,000, but I'm going to die in this boat. I've had it for 20 years, whatever. Dude, do it. It's, it's not that big of an investment. The gyro even. What I mean? If this is the last boat you're going to own,
and you love it, and it's perfect for what you do.
That's what I mean. That's like,
Yeah.
you know, and a lot of guys get that way after their 4th or 5th boat. They're just like, I don't want to go up because it burns too much fuel. This gets it done. Da, da, da. You're just making a great boat better.
Yeah.
You know.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the call.
Hey, I had a great text. Please. I forgot.
Sorry, guys.
No,
Totally. The other one.
Totally. The housing
Okay,
bubble.
so your question with the housing bubble, we're always in a housing bubble for the most part. San Diego's up and down, just depending on the demand. We're always going to have a shortage of properties, which is going to make it a bubble. It's going to make it go up and down constantly for the most part. We have more ups than downs, but we did lose, you know, almost 20% in housing prices over the past 2.5 years, which you don't really feel it because there's $1 million houses everywhere.
Right.
But it did go down, and it has gone back up a little bit, and now it's getting stagnant again. You know, as soon as you see these rates dip down, which should happen here in the next couple months, you're going to see this going crazy again. You know, I would say this spring is going to be just, people are going to be competing again.
Yeah.
And we're going to be back to the same San Diego swing that we have about every 2 years.
Where you get multiple offers on one property and you have to fight for the.
And literally, you know, when we have 20, 30 offers, it makes me insane because it's very hard to keep track of.
Yeah,
First
I bet.
off,
Sure.
I've got to keep spreadsheets, and it makes the work 10 times harder, and everybody's paying more than they need to, you know? So
Yeah.
if I can recommend one thing, don't wait for that. Go out and shop now and go buy that house. Go buy the house that you want, not the house you have to take, because that's
Good
all
point.
you can get.
Yeah. Good point.
Well said. Hey, had a fun text come through again, all about sword fishing, and the question was for Ali. It says, Ali, could you recommend a decent electric reel for deep drop fishing for swords? And also, my question is, when we do have our first shot, where do you plant the gaff, and are you going in first with a straight gaff or a flyer? That's all from Huey and Torrance.
Well, fortunately, there are, I think, some better options. You guys mentioned one of them with the Shimano electric has gotten beefed up just for sword fishing. I think that's a great part. I know a lot of guys really like the Daiwa as well. What's the big one called? The Cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard great results, but one of the things that I'm really excited about, and sponsored by Penn, love Penn, you know, really like the Penn gear, is these new Fathom electrics that Penn's come out with. They're the only smaller sub $1,000 reel that has a lever drag. The one thing I'd never liked about the Stars is you don't know what your drag setting is.
Right.
Once you drop it down. A Star drag is inherently more inclined to lose drag while you're fighting a fish, just from the way that it's designed. It doesn't have a cam pushing up against the drag plates. And I think Penn's really addressed a lot of that. Now, I don't know anybody who's, actually I do know that in Florida when they were testing them, they caught swords on this 80 size. So I think that for me is like right now, and we got to catch some fish on it to feel good about it. But I think if I was trying to stay under that $1,000 mark, I would definitely be running that Fathom because I love the lever drag. We all know that Fathom reel. It's basically built on the same technology everybody knows and loves. And we've all caught fish that are way too big on way too small of a reel. I think that's sort of the cream of the class, and it's the latest one. It just started shipping a couple days ago.
It's got a cool integrated battery system with it too. Like you're not running cords. You don't have to worry about running electrical. It's just the battery is integrated in part of the reel.
Yeah,
and
totally.
And when you buy it, it comes with a battery and an extra and a charger. It's a cool reel.
With those smaller reels too, you get the opportunity to do double duty with this deep water rock fishery. You know, something me and Ricky are nuts about is, you know, you can, it's not like that's just a one trick pony where like my big stuff, my hookers and all that, that's a one trick pony. That thing comes out, we catch swordfish and that's it. With these reels, you can be using them, like Rick said, for your kite, for your deep drop stuff, all of that. And having the integrated battery. And then we use an external battery from Abyss, which is even twice that size. When we go deep water fishing, we don't change a battery all day.
That's legit.
We're bringing 2 and 3 pound sinkers up and down like elevators, you know, with big old rockfish on them, and we get all day performance out of that stuff. And
I like plugging in.
I'm telling you, these will change your mind.
Really?
These will change your mind. That Abyss battery will run that reel for 2 days of bottom fishing.
Wow.
You know, and then you can be mobile. You know, like something gets tangled or hung up, which I don't know how we do, but we manage to every trip, is tangle those electric reels together with all those hooks and all that. You can move them around. I think it'll change your mind on the smaller stuff for sure.
Cool. All right. Hey, Bill from Breckenridge, you know who that is?
Yeah, there's only
Bill
one of
Varney,
those.
the calendar man. As luck will have it, Ollie is indeed Mr. December, but not for his radio looks because of the beautiful yellowfin fireback grouper Russ and Ollie landed in the Bahamas. The fish was just below the current world record. Can you tell us more about how you caught that fish?
I got lucky. I mean, same thing that we always do, and just had the right one find it. It's funny because when you're not used to catching those groupers and they get over 20, 25 pounds, man, you could very easily be convinced that there's a 50, 60 pound fish down there for as hard as they pull.
Yeah.
You know, and that to see one like that, I've caught the yellow edges and some of those weird rare ones in the Gulf and stuff. It was just top 5 fish I've ever caught. It was that cool.
They're pretty
really
badass,
cool. And you can't
They're
eat them
beautiful
because you can't eat them because of the what's it called? The
Ciguatera.
ciguatera. So, released them
Gotta let 'em go.
safely to swim off for another day, but still an awesome fish.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Hey, I want to remind you this sponsor of the show, sponsored by Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature Charts. Focus your fishing in the most productive areas by using Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature, chlorophyll, currents, and more. And with Terrafin Mobile, you can access your chart on your phone or any mobile device. Check Terrafin.com for more information. When we come back, we're going to find out who's got themselves a $300 gift certificate to CostaSunglasses.com. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Hey everyone, James Holst here with Norsk Lithium, the official battery partner of Let's Talk Hookup. Here at Norsk Lithium, we have 2 goals that drive who we are and what we do. The first is to make the highest quality, longest lasting lithium batteries available with a complete lineup of batteries that include 12, 24, 36 volt and starting batteries. Second, in addition to offering a 10-year warranty on all Norsk Lithium marine batteries, we provide amazing customer service before and after the sale. Check us out online at norsklithium.com. That's NORSK lithium.com, or call us at 831-232-9063. Or to see Norsk Lithium batteries in person, stop by the Trolling Motor Doctor in Lakewood or Anglers Marine in Anaheim and see why Norsk Lithium batteries should be in your boat.
No matter where the adventure takes you, we've got you powered. Norsk Lithium.
Give your boat the love it deserves and install a custom sea deck kit from Blue Seas Fabrication. Blue Seas is the West Coast's only certified sea deck fabricator and installer. Sea deck upgrades the look and feel of any boat, old or new. Sea deck non-skid decking adds comfort, convenience, safety, and value. Let the experts from Blue Seas Fabrication custom fit your deck, bridge, and interiors with stylish, durable, stain-resistant, and easy-to-clean sea deck. Check BlueSeasFabrication.com and enhance your fishing experience. Hey, San Diego, the Ford Get Holiday Ready sales event is going on now at your San Diego County Ford dealers. The biggest deals of the year to finish 2024, featuring America's best-selling truck, Ford F-Series, leading for 47 straight years. Or check out the full lineup of versatile Ford SUVs, including Bronco or Bronco Sport. Don't wait. Come take a test drive today. Get holiday ready only at your local San Diego County Ford dealers. They'll be glad to hook you up.
There are moments that change our perception of what is and isn't possible. Cosmic shifts where the stars align with the earth to alter how we see the world. The release of King Tide is one of those moments. This is the crowning achievement of Costa's 40-year legacy on the water, the culmination of every innovation and lessons learned up until this point. Wins and losses and highs and lows have brought us here to stand witness to a legacy brought to life, to achieve the ultimate potential on the water. Costa King Tide, rule the water.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. All right, we're going to have Ali do the corners, flip the prize coin, find out who's got themselves a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses. We have a texter as a winner today. Congratulations, Dan, who is from Durango, Colorado. Congratulations.
Wow.
You got yourself a brand new pair of Costas.
Nice. And Ali, of course, great job with Fish Dope and local knowledge and Seakeeper, all that. How do we find you guys?
Thank you guys so much. Just Google us. We're not hard to find. Localknowledge.tv. We got fishdope.com. And then if you're into the Seakeeper stuff, please, blueseastabilizer.com. Happy to service your unit.
And they'll actually come and show up too, won't they?
We actually do return phone calls and show up. It's
yeah.
sort of this weird business model that we're taking on in the marine industry.
Cool.
Yeah, it's 180.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm trying something new.
Super cool.
Yeah, we'll show up. We probably won't smell like booze or drugs in the morning. And no, we're having a good time. We're selling a bunch of stuff. We're helping a bunch of people out. Even if you just got questions, man, hit us up. If we don't get you this time, we'll get you on the next boat.
BlueSeaStabilizers.com.
That's it.
All right. Hey, and Yusef, how do we find you?
You can get me on my cell phone, 619-277-2169, on social media at CalRealty. You can get me on my website, sportsmansrealty.com. If you'd like a home evaluation, log on to SoCalHomeEval.com.
Yeah, SoCal Home Eval. It's free, no obligation. Tell you what your home's worth right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's a pretty cool deal.
Yep.
Yeah. And so what will that tell you if you get a home eval? What will that tell you? How is that information helpful?
It'll give you a very good idea of what your home is worth, how fast homes are selling in the area, what the market tone is, and just also, if you do get an evaluation and you have things that are spectacular about your home, you need to let me know that, because then I can go in and tweak that evaluation.
1 minute.
Right.
We put in this killer outdoor kitchen and pool, and now it's the spot that everybody's going to want to come over and hang out.
Totally.
And that covers people, not just San Diego, but all over.
Yes, all over California.
All right. Very good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you to JP for manning the phones and the board for us. And thanks to Adam for all he does on the Let's Talk Hookup app. And, of course, thank you out there for the calls, the texts, and listening to Let's Talk Hookup and supporting our sponsors. We really appreciate it. And we will be back next Saturday and Sunday. Well, next Saturday, Ricky and Corey will be here with Jerry Guzman from JRI Lures and the one and only Danny Wade, surface iron expert extraordinaire. And then I'll be back from the Midwest or Michigan or some snowy place like that. Captain Joel Ralston next Sunday.
Fun.
That's going to be fun. 7 to 9 a.m. We'll see you back here on 1090 a.m., YouTube, Facebook Live, Sports Grid Radio Network, and a Let's Talk Hookup app.
Great stuff. Talk next weekend, guys.
All right.
Get to Michigan Saints, bro.
All right. Thanks, man. All right. See ya. Happy Thanksgiving. Forgot to say that.